That Sober Guy podcast contains adult content, merciless truth, and emotional nudity. Listener discretion is advised.
I'm Shane Raymer. You're listening to That Sober Guy podcast, and we help people stay sober. If it's your first time listening, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. You're listening for a long time. Welcome back. Thank you for supporting the show. Always appreciate you.
No goodbyes, just
listening to some Humans music on the intro here. If you like the intro, be sure to check out Humans music. Friends of the show from Canada to the United States and back, staying sober together. Our guest today is my buddy Sonny Mayo. So pumped to have Sonny on the show today. Let me give you a little background about Sonny. He's been writing, recording, producing, and touring for many years. He started his professional music career in 1995 with the band Snot, which, man, in the podcast today, we hear some great stories about how Snot was formed, how Sonny came into the band. It's a great time. He went on to play in the bands Amen, Seven Dust, Head PE. Currently plays guitar with the Rock to Recovery band Sacred Sons. Now, he first went into rehab as a teenager, continued to struggle with alcoholism with drug addiction, while touring the world, while writing, while recording albums, and he finally hit bottom in late 2001. Desperate for sobriety, he sought and received the help he needed in 12-step fellowships. And in 2014, Sonny joined Rock to Recovery, which harnesses the healing power of music by bringing musical instruments and equipment into treatment facilities. They write, they record original songs with people recovering from drug and alcohol addiction, PTSD, eating disorders, other illnesses. They work with veterans. Man, just doing some amazing work, and we talk about that quite a bit in the podcast as well. It's funny, as I'm recording this intro right now, there's a gardener out in front of our place blowing leaves around and edging and doing a phenomenal job making it just look nice out there. And it's funny, at the same time Sonny and I were recording, his gardener was showing up, edging lawns and blowing leaves everywhere and creating some background noise. So I guess it's quite fitting. I was going to re-record this, but it's actually kind of fitting that this guy's out there doing his work. Hey, we all got to work, man. Got to make a living. Shit, we got shit to do, you know? Man, good stuff. But check this out. Sonny and I talked for like 3 hours, man. Sonny, I think you hold the record now for the longest That Sober Guy podcast session out of the 380 something episodes as this goes live. So just a great conversation. Had a great time. By the time we were done, my back was like sweaty. And I was tired in a good way from just this great conversation that we got to have between music and recovery and hearing different thoughts and experiences and opinions. Man, we just got to share a lot of stuff. It was great to hear some background on Sonny's story, as well as the work that he's doing today with Rock to Recovery. And man, the music stuff too is great. One of the things that you'll hear in the podcast is, I was actually, before Sonny and I met, before we got to know each other a little bit, I was actually at a show back in it must have been 1997 in Vacaville at Three Oaks Community Center. It was, I think, Incubus, Snot, Papa Roach. Man, I think I have the flyer somewhere. Just an amazing show in the birth of an era of this music scene that was a big part of my life growing up in my teens and even into my 20s. Just that whole punk rock scene and whole local music scene. It was something that it was something I got to experience that I'll never forget. Just a great time of my life. So I got to share that with saying, hey man, I was at that show, back in the day. It's holy shit, and then we meet later on in life as, dudes in recovery, and it's pretty cool stuff. So I hope you enjoy the conversation. Before we get to Sonny, be sure to check us out at thatsoberguy.com. You can follow us on Instagram at thatsoberguypodcast. If you'd like to join us on Locals, I'd love to have you jump in today. It's kind of like Instagram meets Patreon. You can help support us there. You can be part of a growing sober community that's safe. It'll help you stay accountable, have some fun in the process. We have over 300 active members in there. A lot of dudes joining up, really trying to create this strong I love being around other dudes, other men in recovery, and talking about those experiences that we've been through, like trying to be better friends, better people, better human beings, better dads, better husbands. All those things, man, there's something powerful about being in that fellowship and being able to do that. So whether you find that in a 12-step meeting, in a group of some sorts, in your church, in the Sober Guy Locals app, wherever it is, I just encourage you to find somewhere. And if you decide that you want to check out Locals, we'd love to have you join that. You can download the Locals app, or you can go to that soberguypodcast.locals.com, and we'll be sure to put all those links in the show notes today. And if you go to thatsoberguy.com, we have resources there. There's meetings there. There is all kinds of good stuff from podcasts. There's a couple of courses on there. So be sure to check those out as well. All right. I think that is it on the announcements. Once again, big shout out to Sonny. Thanks again for spending some time on That Sober Guy. I'm excited to share this with you guys out there. I think you're really going to enjoy this. Without further ado, here is Sonny Mayo.
You know, I'm looking at a photo of one of my dogs. So I look at it, I see it, I feel the distance between. I even look at try to see the air.
Yeah.
Like almost like if you were to, like with the camera there, if I was to put, or you were to put your hand in front of it, focus on your hand and then look away.
Okay.
Cross-eyed, but I'm still looking at this. Yeah.
That's weird.
So don't look at your hand as you do this. Take the hand away and still look at the space where the hand was. And you're technically like cross-eyed.
Oh, yes. I'm having a hard time, like a cat. I'm like a cat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah. So you're looking at the space. So you look cross-eyed. You're like, what? Because it's right here. Because you're refocused, right?
Yeah.
But we're looking at the space in between. So then he goes into this thing where it's like, I'm experiencing this distance. Now, flip it like that. And try to see, he calls it, look at what is looking.
Look at what is looking. I know. That's what I was thinking too. What the fuck? Dang. Yeah.
Look at who's looking, what's looking, who's watching the thoughts, who's looking at a thought and going, man, no. Or, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. I had this vision one time, and I've always kind of stuck to this, like with our thoughts. Like, have you ever been to like a sushi restaurant and they have the sushi boat that goes around and it's like all you can eat? So like I was sitting there one time, and I'm not like a huge sushi guy or anything. I kind of just will try not really cool stuff, most of your basic shit, but all these sushi boats are going around. And I started thinking, like, you kind of pick one off that you want, you try it, maybe you don't like it, maybe you stick with a couple that you like. I started thinking about, I'm like, man, our thoughts are kind of the same thing. Like, they're like this round, like, thoughts coming in, coming out. Sometimes we act on ones that we shouldn't, or we don't like ones that we should, but they're all thoughts and they're just continuously flowing. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I've been trying to equate some of that to meditating or being able to sit in those thoughts. I just have a hard time sitting. I know you do a lot of breath work, which I actually wanted to talk to you a little bit about, hear more about that. Does that make sense though? Like the analogy to that?
It's another one that I hadn't considered. There's like cars going by, right? Yeah. You wouldn't grab onto it and it drags you. Or you, I like that one. No. Yeah. Or you just like, I don't even see that one. Yeah. Or that's gross. I hate that fucking car, whatever. Right? But you don't try to grab, but that makes actually more sense to me than the car thing.
Well, and you don't have to take the one that you don't like personally either, right? I don't have to take it and like get all pissed off at myself because like that's been a big one for me, is like taking shit personal. We talk about that in the 4 Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz, and just in recovery and stuff. But anyways, man, yeah, dude, I love it, dude.
I love that. That's really, that's a great analogy, metaphor, I guess.
Yeah, thanks, man.
It's grand, bro, because you look at it when you're like, let's see. Ugh. I wish I didn't, like some sea urchin or something. And then you're like, oh, okay, let's start with something easy, a little hamachi. I know this one. I like. Okay. Yeah. Let me throw a little more. Well, this one has a little more wasabi. Oh, I'll try that. Yeah. And you're like, ooh, unagi. I do like that, right? Or I like that veggie roll. Yeah. So it's great. And then they're like kind of being restocked as it goes. Oh, here's a different.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I love it, dude.
And I'm like Mr. Plain. I'm like, I'll have the tempura, please. And my father-in-law, we went. We went to a place called Sushi on Fire here in Huntington just a couple weeks ago. Really good place. And he ordered the sea urchin. I didn't know what, like, we had went to the fish market that weekend before. And so I saw what the sea urchin looks like before you cut into it. And then we went to sushi. I saw what it looks like when they brought it out, and he was getting after it. I was too much of a wuss to try it, but you like that stuff? You like it? The sea urchin? No, I'm not.
I tried it.
Fan. Did you? What did it taste like?
I feel it's been a long time. I've been vegan for a few years.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
But I just remember I didn't like the
it's like yogurty, like her texture. That's what he said. He said it was real textury. Like, yeah, exactly. That says it all. Yeah.
It's just like your face. I don't want my face to ever do that. What I just did. So yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, man.
My buddy of mine would always. My buddy. When I played he probably still does it. When I played in Seven Dust, Morgan Rose, the drummer, we would always go get sushi back in the mid 2000s when I was with them, and he'd always be like, "Yeah, you got quail egg, a raw quail," and I was like, "Why are you?" He's like, "Oh, I just like it."
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I can't do it. I
don't even think I tried it.
I've never tried it. But just the thought of it looks and sounds disgusting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Gross. But yeah, man, I like how we just dive in. I feel like that's, we don't know each other really, but
yeah, I do too.
It's easy.
And that's like, sometimes I'll produce the show live. I think I'm just going to keep rolling if that's cool with you, and we can just have.
Dude, we started going.
Yeah. I'll do the other stuff later on, man. That's totally fine.
It's almost like Rogan. It seems like there's the intro and then you just join the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's more relatable to the listener like that too, because it brings the authenticity. It's not so like, radio-esque or news segment or whatever. I think that's why a lot of people have liked, well, of course, that's why they love Rogan's podcast. The feedback I get from Sober Guy too is the same thing, man. It's authentic, relatable conversations revolving around, recovery is the focal point, but man, there's so many branches of the tree of recovery, of life, just being dudes, trying to be better men, all that stuff. So it's good to have you on today, man. It really is.
So grateful, bro. So grateful.
It's been great to get to kind of know you a bit too. And just thanks for inviting me to speak at your meeting last week, dude. That was awesome, bro. Yeah, such a good experience. A lot of good people in there. So I'm looking forward to, I have that on my meeting lists now. Always good to have that.
Yeah, man. It's 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday.
How do you do that?
Huh? I don't.
Okay. I was wondering if you did it every day.
I'll tell you.
Okay,
I will tell you.
Yeah.
I'll try to be concise because I am loquacious. I will start. So first of all, I've been sober since my sobriety date, we'll say, is December 31st, 2001. So New Year's Eve was my first day. Really, it was the first day that I did not imbibe alcohol or any other mind-altering substance. Not necessarily because I was like, I'm going to get sober, but because I hit bottom on the 30th for real. And I had hit plenty of bottoms. I was in rehab when I was 16.
Yeah.
I didn't want it, didn't need it, and I didn't stay sober, obviously. And so when the pandemic hit, so fast forward, so I've been sober 19 and a half years over. And so when the pandemic hit, man, I was told by my doctors, my cardiologist and my general practitioner, because I have a cardiologist because I actually have coronary artery disease. We can go into that a little bit too. Yeah. There's a lot of spirituality and a lot of my 11th step action that was kicked in when I had 2 heart attacks.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you may have. I don't know if I talked about it.
I just kind of learned about this recently and doing a little pre-production for our conversation today. But yeah, dude, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't know that. Yeah.
And look, I'm lean and I'm healthy, So we can talk about that too if we get back to it.
Absolutely.
But they said on the pandemic, the lockdowns, let's say, hit on March 14th of 20, and I was like, I'm not leaving this space. I can't leave this space. I was like, because all the things, blood clotting and all this other stuff, right? Yeah. And I have 5 stents. Dang. If people don't know what stents are, they're these little metal tubes that they go into either into your wrist or into your groin, up into the heart through the major artery. Wow. And they've discovered that with radioactive dye, they film it and they see the blockages, and then they put these little tubes in there, and it opens up the artery where it's blocked, and then they pull the little catheter back out, and it's supposed to keep your arteries open. That's the goal, right?
Yeah.
And so I have 5 of those over 2 heart attacks. 4 the first time, 1 the second time. So I'm not going anywhere, right? March 14th, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And so first of all, I was like, I don't have a job. Like the work that I do with Rock to Recovery at that point was all in person, man.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I can't go to meetings. And so I decided I'm going to start a Zoom meeting. I'm just going to have one today.
Yeah.
And I texted a bunch of people, hey, if you can't go to meetings, like I got one going if you want to at noon. And I made my own format. The one that you experienced, which is concise, it's chill.
Great.
Right?
I was just telling my buddy Static about it. We were chatting.
I know Static.
Before.
I love that guy.
He's a good dude, man. Oh. Yeah, but I was telling him, I said, man, I love Sonny's format. It was like concise. It was like to the point. I got to share a little bit. I got to share a little verbiage of my choice, and then boom, like tons of good people sharing, dude. Awesome.
Yeah, bro. And somehow, if there's around 20, 25 people, like the way that meeting is, even though there's a 10-minute speaker, like almost everybody shared. I think everyone got in because people keep it.
Everyone did.
They keep it. That's how it evolved and has been most of the time. We don't have a timer, and it seems to work out just fine. Yeah. So, and then also, so what I decided, because that was a Saturday. Sunday, I had just been just closed out my secretaryship at a men's meeting in Santa Monica, which used to be called Mario's, and then it was Bravo, and then it was Trastevere. So we were on the 3rd Street Promenade. I don't know if you ever went to those men's meetings at all up here. Rad group, lovely. West Side Men's AA is great, and I know West Side Women's AA is great too, and co-ed's great too. I don't do the women's meetings, but I do all of the meetings that I can. And so Sunday I got with the new secretary, who was literally just starting that Sunday. It was his first Sunday, the 15th of March. And I said, hey, my man, I'm going to start the Sunday virtual Bravo, we call it. And so let people know they can't make it. I got it. And I'll tell people that you're still doing it until further notice. Yeah. And so I started that meeting. So it was one day was men's meeting Sunday, and then 6 days a week was co-ed. Because I didn't really want to look at dudes the whole time. Like, I don't want to have 7 days a week of guys. I'm not sorry.
Don't be sorry.
No, not sorry.
Yeah, that's funny.
Plus, I wanted to have a format. I did it. I got to do it myself. I got to create that format.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I whittled it down because I was like, I don't want a whole bunch of. I love the literature, but enough. Everybody don't have to read how it works at the beginning. You don't have to. We'll just get a speaker who reads anything they want to. 11-step style. Yeah. Something, because the big book says that the world's libraries are full of books like that. Of spiritual, ask your priest or rabbi or minister or guru
but a lot of the same concepts, just maybe in different context for people depending on how they look at it. But,
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's available, right? So that's why I did that, and then it's continued, man. And the men's meeting eventually, I got with some other guys, and we absorbed it into one link. So it's 7 days a week on the same link. So Sundays, my meeting is not. There's no meeting on the link that you had.
Yeah.
It's a men's meeting, and I take Sunday. Like somebody they talked about on the. I guess that was on the 7th day. Was it the 7th day he rested? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I rest on the 7th day.
I like it. Yeah.
Let's go to another meeting.
Yeah.
Not mine. But I was doing 7 days a week, Shane.
Dang.
I was out of my mind. I don't know if I'm a narcissist. I don't know if I'm like maybe a sadomasochist. I don't know what it was, but I was doing 7 days a week with 6 speakers a week for a few months.
Dude, but I would argue that after experiencing something like 2 heart attacks and just life before, which, I'd love to hear a little bit more about that too. Just like kind of some more of your story and getting in the music business. And as a teenager, I know you went to rehab at a young age. But like this perspective we have as number one, we get older and we start dealing with aging, sickness, and death, like those 3 things that are just inevitable for us. Our lives change, our perspective changes. And it seems like in just the short time I've known you, bro, like when I talk to you, not just right now too, but previous, I'm always like, man, dude, Sonny's just got just the dopest vibe, like the best vibe, like just a good dude, wanted to be of service. You always bring off that good energy. And I guess I'm asking you, does some of that come from being able to put life in perspective and, potentially losing life at some point after 2 heart attacks, man? That's crazy.
Yeah, to an extent. And I can tell you this, bro. Like, the first one was literally just after my 45th birthday. Man, I wasn't bigger, but I was stronger than I'd ever been in my life.
Yeah.
My nephew, who used to live right next door to me, is 20 years younger than me. Yeah. And he was training me because I had this smoking hot Australian chick that came in to hang out, we'll say, with me around my birthday.
Yeah.
And luckily, she didn't kill me. I didn't, whatever. But I did have a heart attack while she was here. And I'm really grateful.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm really grateful she was here because she's the one that was like, we're going to the hospital right now.
Really?
Because I was like, well, I'll drop you off at the airport. And she's like, no. And I went, okay. I mean, what? I don't.
Was it just literally out of nowhere? Like pretty much out of nowhere? Did you know there was any complications or anything before?
Well, I knew that I had high triglycerides my entire life. But my doctors, man, I mean, I'm. It's obvious that I was ignorant, because even when I was having an actual, what do they call it, myocardial infarction,
wow,
I was still like, I'll just go later.
Yeah.
So the thought of like at like 16, bro, 18, something like that, they were like, well, you have high triglycerides. It runs in the family.
Oh, wow.
And all these doctors throughout my whole life said literally the same thing, Shane. They would say, keep an eye on that.
Huh.
And I don't know what keep an eye on it meant. I was like, look at my beautiful dog.
I know, it's back there chilling. What's his name?
Her name is Gaia.
Oh, Gaia. Girl, what's up, Gaia? She's chilling. Oh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's Mother cool. Earth over there.
Yeah.
So finally, okay, so in 2013, man, was a big sober bottom for me. At the end of 2013, actually in the year of 2013, my dog Buckley died at the beginning of the year. In January, my dad was diagnosed. Well, I'm sorry, my dog died of cancer. My dad died of cancer in June, and my marriage died in November. And it didn't end in 2013. It went into 14. Like we separated. Damn. We got divorced. I was in this. I had this gnarly thumb injury where I was breaking up a dog fight, and I went to push, and my thumb literally went like this way. It's the way it's supposed to go. Oh. And thankfully, it was no surgery. Like it's good. Like
yeah.
And I mean, and I was trying to start a new career. All this job, whatever. I didn't know what I was doing, bro. And then I got in this car crash that was totally my fault. Damn. Accidental. Somebody T-boned me because I turned in front. I didn't see it. It was an accident, right? And it turned out my ex-wife and I, my soon-to-be ex-wife at the time, and I were both on the same insurance still, and I was giving her money. My part in it, my inventory, my 10th step in that is, why were we still on the same insurance 4 months after we were separated? That's on me.
Yeah.
So she wasn't paying the insurance. I was uninsured.
Oh, damn.
Bro, Shane, I'm still paying that car off. $100 at a time every month.
Damn.
The other guy's car, 17 grand.
Holy shit.
So dude, I mean, just hit like this gnarly bottom in 13. But I had this experience, and this is so, to me, it's so very connected with spirituality, and especially for me, when I got sober, and I know I'm probably all over the place. I hope people.
You're good, man. I love it, dude.
Okay,
keep
great.
going. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump around.
Yeah,
I like to
great.
go what it's like, what it was like, what happened, what it's like. So when Buckley, who is this dog right here, that's the dog that died in 2000.
Similar. They look similar, Guy. And
yeah. He's like a pitty, pointery kind of.
Yeah, a little bit.
Buddy, kind of awesome dog. So he got diagnosed with hemangiosarcoma, which is a tumor on his heart, in late 12. And what would happen, I'm going to try not to do too much detail, is it was a blood vessel cancer. So it would try to grow blood vessels on the heart. Okay. It would bleed, fill the heart sac with blood, and compress his heart.
Oh.
Yeah, man. And you could drain it like we did it the first time we drained it. And bro, this is where the true nature of my connection with God with a capital D and dog with a capital G came into play yet again. Yeah. I kid you not. I could tell you the other ones too, but here I'll just give you this one. This is with me with 11 years, pushing 12 years. And so he went into the hospital having this happen. This was happening, and I used to be a vet tech, so I knew something was up, and his color was pale and all this. And so we were in Lake Tahoe, dude. I ran down a mountain with my dog in my arms, like Bill Bixby in the old Incredible Hulk show, where he lifted the car, or there was a mom who lifted the car, and he was trying to get that strength, and then that's when he got the gamma stuff, right? Literally superhuman strength to because of the love I had for this dog. And we got him to the animal hospital, and the doctor's like, I know what it is. He checked him out. He went in, bro, and this is the consciousness of God in my life. I looked at my dog, he didn't know.
How old was he?
About 11. He was a mutt, so rescue, so 11 or 12.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he's going in, and he's basically dying, like his heart's being compressed, just like squeezed until it can't beat anymore. And he's still, when the doctor came in, his tail was like, he's still wagging his tail. He's like, hey, dog. Yeah. Doctor listened to his heart. Heard what he knew. He couldn't hear the heart very well. He knew what it was. He told me, and I was like, oh my God. They took him in, and he said, we can get the blood out of there. So he puts a catheter, and I told him I was a vet tech. They let me come back and shit, dude. It was killer. Oh, wow. I got to be there with him while it was happening. Yeah. And they drew the blood off, and they emptied the heart sac, so everything was normal again. And dude, he went from literally like this, to, hey, what's going on? Hey, how you guys doing? Oh, there's a cat over there. Hey, you want to go outside? Hey, let's do this.
Like instantly?
The thing is, like, what would Jesus do? What would dog do? I actually say, my ex-wife and I say, what would Buckley do? That was our thing. And he would say yes, really. He would say yes. Hey, you want to do this? Yeah. Hey, you want to do nothing? Yeah. You want to do that? Yeah. So this connection with God and that mentality, that consciousness grew. And now, as he was getting chemo and all these other things, I was meditating one day, Shane, and he was next to me, and he had a real deep chest, like pitties do and pointers do. So the thing was, if you have your hand on his heart, like on his chest, you can actually feel.
Oh wow.
The lub dub, and if I couldn't feel it, then we have an issue. That was like the sign.
Yeah.
And so I'm feeling his heart, and this was huge for me, dude. I'm feeling his heart, and I'm thinking, there's a tumor on there. Fucking tumor. Piece of shit tumor. Fucking. And I'm sending this energy, this hatred, through my body, through my hand, into and at the heart of the creature I love more than anything in the world. You catch what I'm saying? I'm sending, excuse my French again, but I'm sending fuck at his heart. And dude, I snatched myself up, and I said, no.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, with a capital D. I said, I have to pray for this tumor? Dude. And so there is a prayer by a guy called Anthony DeMello. You ever hear of Anthony DeMello?
I don't think so.
He was a Jesuit priest from India.
Okay.
He was a renegade. Like the Jesuits were kind of renegades before they're like, the Catholic Church was like, we need to get these guys on our side because they're like pirate Christians. They were so dope.
Oh yeah.
And he's amazing. Oh, he died in the 80s. But he had this prayer, or has a prayer, man, that he left to us. And it can be used on anything, he said. A person, a situation, in my case, a tumor.
Yeah.
And it was, I leave you free to be who you are, to indulge your tastes as you see fit, to grow in any way you see fit. Whoa. I leave you free. Dude, I prayed for this tumor. Yeah. And then like 3 days later, my dad was diagnosed with multiple myeloma bone cancer. Like clockwork. Like, and I was like, damn, Buckley?
Yeah.
D-O-G, capital G. Yeah, man. So that is some of the stuff that I bring forward with me. And I'm a human, bro. Like sober.
I love that.
Or not. I'm a human. So I'm scared. I'm excited.
Why do we forget that sometimes? We forget where, like, I was talking to my homie Josh the other day, and I was I had my own shit going on. I was trying to work out, and he goes, bro, like, don't forget, you're a human being. Like, you're supposed to feel. Like, I struggle with feeling, period. It's probably why I had an issue with alcohol and drugs, Why do we forget that sometimes? I love that you just pointed that out. Like I'm a human. Like shit, we're supposed to feel. It's part of it. It sucks sometimes, but
I look at it actually in longer term sobriety. I aim for it to look at myself and others, but look at me and go, really, I'm human first. I'm not alcoholic first.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm human first. And then I'm male. And then I can go, okay, and I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
But there's a filter that goes through. So there's human, man. There's things that supersede alcoholism in here.
Totally.
And then there's genetic, gender, whatever, hormones and all the instincts. And then there's a peculiar mental twist that the big book defines as alcoholism. Really, it's centered in the mind rather than in the body.
Yeah.
It starts here and it catapults in the body, right? That if you go by that model, which I do for myself, and I know that there's people like whatever works for you, but if you want help with it like this, I got you. I can help. I can really help you.
Yeah.
If that, and maybe I can still be supportive in other ways. Like I'm a recovery coach, whatever. I can help other ways too. Yeah. But that humanness, dude.
Yeah, it's huge. I love you point that out too. Like there's certain ways that work for some people that might not work for another person. But I think it's so important, and we try to express that on this platform too, is like, number one, all that really matters is that we're doing the best we can and we stay sober, like from a sobriety perspective. But like, man, we can learn a lot from each other in different ways and how to do things. And maybe it doesn't align exactly as the way, we see it. But at the end of the day, it comes back to that. We're trying to stay sober. We're trying to be better human beings, do the best we can, that kind of stuff. So I think that's very appealing to a lot of people, and they can relate to that versus saying, this is the only way. And if you don't see it like my way, then you're doing it wrong or you're going to fail or whatever. You know what I mean? I love keeping that open perspective and allowing people, because we got to figure it out ourselves. Like nobody wants to be told what to do. Like I know I don't. It's probably why I got to where I got in this situation, because we don't want that, but I got to just figure it out, because sometimes we got to fall on our face a few times. But man, dude, so you got hit with all that stuff though, all at like one time. And somehow you managed to stay sober though through it.
Dude.
I don't know. That's a lot.
Let me tell you this too. Like I played when I was playing at that time in the band Ugly Kid Joe.
Never, by the way, real quick, before doing a little, like I said earlier, a little pre-production for this, I did not know that. I knew Snot, Seven Dust, Rock to Recovery, obviously. I didn't know Ugly Kid Joe. And as a kid, I was born in 81. I remember early 90s, I was a skater kid, dude. And like, I had a rough, kind of childhood, and Ugly Kid Joe, bro, was like one of my favorites, dude. Just F you, society, like suck it, like, it's freaking like, great, dude. Yeah. So anyways,
here's how I want to do a little tangent here, because when I'm 1971. I just turned 50, bro.
Nice, dude. That's right. Month. Yeah, that's right. Congrats and happy birthday, by the way. Yes.
Thank you. The big 5-0. Great. And I'm rad. I mean, I'm in pretty good shape.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I've had 2 heart attacks, remember.
Yeah.
I'm in pretty good shape. But I hated Ugly Kid Joe.
I hate everything about you. I mean, it goes perfect, right? The song, and there it is.
Bro, I was like, who are these clowns?
Yeah.
And they were like, look at us clowns.
Yeah.
They were owning it. And I was like, who needs to? So I grew up in Virginia. I was born in DC and grew up in Northern Virginia. And I'm this like former thrash. I mean, not former, I guess. I guess I'm still good at it. Speed metal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I grew up listening. I've been playing music all my life. I played like the damn recorder and the xylophone, and I played alto. I played viola, and then I played alto sax, and then I found weed and Metallica. I'm gonna say 1986. Yeah, when Master of Puppets came out, I went. My buddy, who was a stoner dude, who totally got me into weed, and he was the problem. It wasn't me. It was him.
Oh yeah, always, dude. It's always the buddy. Yeah, don't you hang out with that kid.
Long-haired guy with the denim vest that has the Venom patch on the back of it. Venom on denim.
Venom on denim. That'd be a great T-shirt.
Oh shit, yeah, dude. My buddy Klaus from Ugly Kid Joe has it's called Mock and Roll Art, and he does like like piss takes on all the things. Like he'll
Yeah.
have the Motley Crue logo, but it'll say Mariah Carey. And then for Venom, it's the logo, but it says
Yeah.
it's vegan.
Oh, nice. Little word plays. Yeah, that is sick.
He did another one that's the Slayer, like the circle with like the sword, Die by the Sword, I think,
Yeah.
or whatever their logo with the swords through it, the pentagram, and it says Slayer. His says sober.
Oh, nice. I like that one.
I might have to send you one of those, bro.
That's cool, dude. Yeah, I'll dig it.
Mock and roll. It's
Mock
on
and roll.
Instagram, whatever. So I know we're all over the place, but I hated Ugly Kid Joe, dude. And then my friend Shannon Larkin, who was in at the time band Wrathchild America, who most people probably don't know. Some people are gonna be like, "Oh, dang, Wrathchild America from like Baltimore-ish." He actually joined Ugly Kid Joe.
Oh, wow.
And we were like, what? Those clowns? And he's like, man, I'm going. And listen, and he went, listen, he's such a rad. This guy is, I call him the kingpin of the clique. Like there's a line from there's some line from like The Chronic where he says, it might be like Corrupt, the rapper Corrupt. He goes, kingpin of the clique. Littlest G with the biggest dick. That's how I look at Larkin, because he's this wide.
Yeah.
And he is a beast, bro. He plays in Godsmack now.
Oh, yes.
He's the drummer of Godsmack for many years, for pushing 20 years now.
Yeah.
As long as I've been sober, actually, he's been the drummer of Godsmack.
Damn.
But we also played in a band called Amen together, but that's later. So he joined them, and he's like, and we're like, oh man, we had a side project together. He was in Wrathchild, but we had this killer side project together called Motherfucking Pitbulls, MFP. Yeah. And we were like, oh man. And he goes, dude, I'm gonna go out there, and I'm gonna let people know, man, that we're some killer musicians here.
Yeah.
Sure enough, he did exactly what he said he was gonna do. He moved to Santa Barbara. He met a bunch of people. He meets Mikey Doling, who's friends with Klaus and Witt.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And Mikey was a guitar tech for Klaus, which me and Mikey have such a funny history. It's similar because I was a guitar tech for Wrathchild at one point, which was Shannon's old band. And I also played 5 shows with him, which is how I got in with him, because the guitar player broke his hand one time in like 1992. And I filled in for him, so I got in with the things. I was in this local thrash band called Silence 92. And so Mikey Doling was Klaus's guitar tech, and at one point I was the guitar tech for Wrathchild America. Neither of us had any business being guitar techs. We're guitar players, not guitar techs. But he met Mikey, and Mikey's like, dude, I got this band, bro. It's called Snot. I'm calling it Snot, dude. I'm trying to get it off the ground, but man, the guys around here is kind of flaky and, kind of tweakers and whatever. And Shannon's like, yo, I think he was just looking for a bass player first. He's like, I got the guy. So our bass player, John, we called him Toomer. I like to call him John now. We're older. John Faunestock. He got the gig. Like he went out.
Really?
And then and he was like, he started playing with Snot. And then he goes, at one point, I think it was Christmas '94. He goes, hey man, and we were at a party. Shannon was back from Santa Barbara for the holiday, seeing family. We had a party at our buddy Yitt's house out at the ranch where it was so redneck, dude. We would shoot shotguns. He had wolf hybrids, and we were so redneck. And we're not really rednecks, but he is.
That sounds like fun.
Sounds like fun, right?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
I love shotguns and wolf hybrids.
Hell yeah.
You want to go to that party, bro?
I'm there. Hell yeah.
At the time, bong hits and all the things.
Some Marlboro Reds and maybe a Budweiser.
Cowboy killers. Popping nails.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. So he goes, Shannon and John said to me, hey man, I can't remember who said it, but they were both like, yo, have your affairs in order, bro, because I think they might want another guitar player. So have your shit together. And I had this townhouse and I had a relationship, and I was like, all right. And I got all my shit tight. And then sure enough, Easter Sunday of '95, I had been out all day, and I come home and playing like Sega Genesis NBA Live '95.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's awesome.
You're not old enough for that, are you?
Oh no, Genesis. Oh yeah, I was down on some Genesis, man.
That's
and
when
Super Nintendo,
that's when it went from like this weird linear thing to like a 3D-ish perspective. NBA Live '95.
Yep.
And I'm playing basketball with my bro, my roommate. My girl answers the phone. She's like, "Hey, honey, it's for you." And I go, "All right." And it's got a giant cord on it and stuck to the wall and shit.
Yeah.
I go, "Hey, hello." And this guy who I don't recognize his voice, he goes, "Hey, Sonny, I've been trying to get a hold of you all day." I go, who's this?
Yeah.
He says, this is Lynn. I said, well, what do you want? And he goes, I want metal.
Oh, shit.
You know what I said? You called the right place.
That's the perfect answer.
And he let out this he let out a like a Lynn, it was Lynn Straight of snot.
Yeah.
And you hear that snot.
Oh yeah.
Like the Lynn from the diaphragm to the pelvis, and he let it out on the phone. I was like, this motherfucker. And he's like, bro, we want you to come join our band.
Wow.
He didn't say audition or anything.
Yeah.
And then he passed me around to all the guys, and I got to Toomer, got to John. He's like, yeah, man, we want you to come out. And I was all, what about the name? And he goes, we've been in meetings with some lawyers and some managers, and nobody's ever said anything about it. I go, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. And I was all, well, you send me a demo.
Where did you live at the time?
Reston, Virginia.
Oh, wow. And they were all out in Santa Barbara. So you're clearly on the other side of the country at this time. Like, that makes sense why he said get your stuff in order, because there could be an opportunity coming.
Sorry. Yeah. We were in Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And so they came back. So Shannon, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I got off the phone and they were like, we'll send you a demo. And I was like, all right. And, I was like, sounding pretty positive or whatever. My girl looks at me and she's like, you're going, right? And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
She was so rad. She's like, all right, well, you better call so-and-so and call your mom. And I was like, all right. Yeah. She was so rad. Props to Vicky North, my homie. She's my homie now.
Nice.
Yeah. What a fucking awesome human. She was like, no, you better.
Supportive.
She knew, man. And then she came out and visited me once or twice. And then it was like, I love you. I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
Right? I'm staying.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where we were. Oh, we were at Ugly Kid Joe in 2014. So we can keep going with some history if you want.
Dude, I'm loving this, because let me just, I would love to hear a little bit more how that kind of evolved, but I just want to share with you real quick. One of the best times in my life, like as a kid, coming up in like this broken home, trying to figure out, who you are and what this is about. And like, music was such a big part of my life. Like, and it even was as a kid, even like a little kid. I remember the first concert I went to was Heart with my mom and dad. And like, I remember watching Heart and just being like, oh man, that's just so, I think it was like at Concord Pavilion or something. And, I just remember going like, God, that's so good. I could feel it in my chest. And, my dad was funny, man. He would play anything from Brooks and Dunn to like Biggie Smalls and Tupac and like his 95 Chevy Camaro with the T-tops, dude. And it's just like, he didn't, he had a very wide selection of music. So grew up on that. But as a kid, going to, being from Vacaville and going to my first shows like in 7th, 8th, 9th grade at the Three Oaks Community Center was Papa Roach, was Salmon, and it was Snot back in the day. Yeah. And so
wait. Yes. You were at that show?
Yes. Isn't that insane that you and I meet later on in life, like in recovery? And like, it's like, I want to say I have the flyer to it somewhere too, like in some boxes or something. I know D-Buck probably has some flyers of it too, somewhere, but like, it was so rad because just
Incubus played that show. Incubus was on that show too.
It was like that was an amazing event at the small local community center before, like that was like the birth of, or the start of like this whole new scene of music that's continued to evolve, even to today. It's set roots in that. But just real quick, and I want you to keep going, but I just want to say, like, as a kid, and I know there's other kids out there who feel this, like being from that style of home, like being able to hear that music and your guys' passion for music and just getting up there having fun. And then, dude, like being able to go into like a fucking gnarly ass mosh pit. I miss that at 40, dude. I can't do it anymore because I got like work and I have kids and stuff. But that was the best release, like to just let loose and let it all out in some sort of healthy, somewhat manner, because there was a code and a respect for it. And you got, there was a fight here or there. But man, what a great time, like of life of the music scene and watching, these bands that continued on, to set like just a lot of, a lot of great things to come after that. But yes, dude, so that was awesome. I was there. So rad that we end up like hooking up later on and meeting and stuff. So yeah, just wanted to share.
I want to say this, dude. I'm so grateful that we both survived.
Me too, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Not just survive, but we're thriving as well.
Yeah.
How long are you sober?
Right.
I forget. 7?
Let's see. Next, dude, on September 11th, just a couple of weeks, it'll be 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Crazy.
did kind of remember. So I'm going to put this in my calendar real quick. Oh, I got it. Shane Raymer, 8 years.
Oh, dude, awesome, man.
Right there,
You're rad, bro. Yep. That's sick.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
I must have done it that meeting when you spoke. When
Yeah.
you said it, I was like,
Yeah.
I'm so rad. I forget how rad I am.
That's great, man.
I'm not the raddest, but
Yeah.
I'm rad and also bunk, but rad. Right? That's my boy Whit Crane from Ugly Kid Joe. That's one of his things.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
he's one of my gurus. He's like
Really?
he's like a you know what a sadhu is? It's like a Hindu mystic, like a
Okay.
Hindu medicine man kind of. They just they just wander the earth and like they'll just show up at your house and you're like, oh hey, and you feed them and
Just sleep
they
on your
bless you
couch and shit. And like,
and they kick it and they hang out and they give you some rad tidings and you're like, you want to crash out? Like you can sleep in the garage or we got to, I guess, like he's like, and they just
That's
bestow
awesome.
this wisdom upon you. You're like, how did you get that?
Yeah.
That's Whit Crane.
Wow.
And, and so, what had me saying that? Why did I say,
What were we saying? We were saying, well, I will point out this, and I think, that there's,
I'm rad and bunk. That's it.
yes, rad.
And I
and
look at
bunk.
it I look at it as humility, right? So I try to be humble. So
Yeah.
I'm rad and also bunk.
Yeah.
But if it's 51-49 rad to bunk, I'm doing pretty good.
Absolutely. 51 rad for sure. Bunk 49.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
always.
we're probably doing better. We're probably 63-37.
Totally. But I think it's good that you pointed out though that like on a serious note, like I'm so grateful too that we made it through that, because how I know you have, close people who've passed, as have I. And one of them that just came up for me, I followed Nick Traina a lot growing up. I don't know if you remember Link 80, the band Link 80 from the Bay Area. He was actually Danielle Steele's son, the writer Danielle Steele, and he was manic depressant. And she wrote a book about him, and they had toured on the Bay Area and stuff. And he ended up passing away too. And at that time of my life was a big part of that too. But point being is we made it through, thank God. And I do feel like this, maybe obligation's the wrong word, but just drive and passion to be able to give back and get that. And I get that vibe from you too, man, just wanting to help and serve and be a good dude,
Yeah, man. And I feel like I really do feel like that is actually in our nature.
Yeah.
There's a
Totally.
rad truck coming down the way.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
I can hear. Yeah. It's cool.
Stand by. It's cool. That's something really important to say. So shh.
Yeah. Be quiet, truck. I got my dog crying in the background. He wants me to.
Oh, I can't even hear it.
Okay. He's
Yeah,
chilling.
can't hear it. Okay, so that whole nature versus nurture kind of thing. So you and I have similar experiences. We probably are similar people. Not everyone's like us. There's obviously different types of people, different character.
Yeah.
There's what do they call it? Generational trauma. You can call it like inherited karma. The sins of the father will fall upon the son.
Yeah.
It's coming through. Where are our parents when they get together, and then where's the mom, and what's the surround, all this stuff. And so there's nature and nurture, and I think it's decent balance. I feel like there was a study, and it might even be a little more on the nurture side for the surroundings.
Yeah.
But nature, in Wedding Crashers, Christopher Walken's like,
that movie.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins. I agree with him. I think that nature wins.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. That movie's great too. Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't know what got into me. Brad Cooper. He's like, I don't know what got into me. And he's like, nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always
Yeah.
wins.
Always.
With the Christopher Walken way. So, man, I think it's in our nature, bro. Sometimes when we come in, for people who are new or are potentially hating themselves, like I sometimes do, I don't think it's my nature to be a degenerate, meth smoking, teeth falling out, alcoholic addict. I don't think that's my nature. I think it's part of this body and whatever makeup.
Yeah.
But I feel, I sense that it's my nature to be loving and to, I'm kind.
Yeah.
I am kind, period. I say to people, because I was, when I came into the program, you could say, when I came in for real, you could say that I was an angry agnostic, right? I was pissed off at the God of my grandfather, it's not my God. And I would hold it in my back pocket and pull it out and be like, see, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, cause it was, mad at me for being born and all this other stuff. And so I started to shift because when I did, I'm all over the place, but when I did have this realization of how angrily I'd been living my life. I mean, I made some rad angry music, man. Some really rad angry music.
Yeah.
And when I had gotten sober, and I joined Seven Dust when I had 3 years. So in 2005, I joined Seven Dust, replaced the mighty Clint Lowry in Seven Dust for 3 years, 3 albums. And I would help Morgan, the drummer, write lyrics. And he would do this thing where he would, like, we'd be doing pre-production, and he would write, like John Connolly. The first record I did with him, man, Connolly was like, I got 15 songs, and I had just joined the band like 9 days before that and flew out and just like, we're doing a record. We want you to join and again, I am so stoked, man. I am so spoiled, and I'm such a punk that I have never auditioned for a band that I actually I did audition for a band, and I was like, I don't want to be in your band. But I auditioned for 9 Inch Nails and obviously didn't get the gig. But again, these guys, Snot said, hey, we want you to join our band. Seven Dust called me, Morgan called me, hey man. And the precursor to Morgan, actually it was Morgan, and then BC from Head PE. Have you ever heard of Head PE?
Oh yeah.
I was in that band too.
Yeah. Saw them a couple times. So I've had actually, Wes has been on the podcast back when, like, man, probably like 2016. It's been a while. I should probably have him back on sometime, man. He's a good dude too.
Because we just he just put a book out with our on-staff PhD called Rock to Recovery.
That would be awesome, bro. We'll connect on that after. That'd be awesome.
So, so I would do this thing where I would write, like Morgan would write the first verse and the chorus, and then he would move on to the next song because we're doing pre-production, and we call it filling holes. We can fill those holes later, the second verse, the bridge, right? Yeah. And so I was hanging out and I was learning the old songs because we were going to go on tour like right after we finished the record. So I'm learning, I don't know, 25 songs for the show, for the tour, and I'm learning 15 songs for the record.
Wow. All at once. Yeah.
And then I'm like, I would have these times where I'd take a break and I'd come and they'd be doing pre-production. And then Morgan was like, yeah, let's move on to the next one. I was like, what, second verse, bridge? He's like, you got anything? And I was like, ooh, bounce that for me. And so I would write the second verse and the bridge of several songs. Yeah. And it was rad because I got writing credit, which was killer. And I got to do this thing, Shane, where, the vein of Seven Dust, especially with like Morgan and stuff, was kind of this angry, like, fuck you, right? It was like this pissed off, you did this shit, right? And so I got to actually inject a little bit of positivity. There's a song called Failure on the first record I did with them. And I got to write the second verse, which is very brief, but I got to write it. And it was, sorrow was the old way, I won't subdue the blue. And then it was I can't remember the second, but it was like, sorrow was the old way, and I'm not trying to subdue that, but now I have this hope, and and trying to go to what was expected of me, by me, and then into like hope. Yeah. Right. And the last record I did with them was called Hope and Sorrow. Funny enough.
That is funny.
Chapter 7. But yeah, dude. So I got to have this positivity come in. My nature. That's back to the nature.
Yeah. Well, in other words, too, so you're getting that collaborative effort and team. It's, when you're able to do that, write, create, help in that. But what you're saying is you were bringing some positivity into this more, maybe an angry sounding music or whatever. And I think that you can, like, I love underground hardcore stuff too. One thing I love about the hardcore movement, like one of my favorite bands is Terror, dude. They're so, what's that?
Which one?
Terror.
Yeah.
And that whole scene is just like, my wife will hear it. She's like, it's so angry. I'm like, man, you listen to it's positive. It's about brotherhood. It's about building each other up. It's about being accountable to each other. There's such this, and a lot of those kids, what I love about the straight edge or the hardcore scene too, is a lot of the kids are straight edge. Like that whole scene is such a good, positive movement. And that is a really cool thing to see, especially in today when a lot of us, like myself, even growing up, I was bred I was I can't even think of the word right now, but what I saw was I need to party and do drugs and drink and stuff. And that was like, okay. And very acceptable. And I never really knew there was a different way until I started to get older. You know what I mean? Even though I had a good buddy of mine, Justin Cootie, was in a band called, Execution Style out here in the Bay Area. He went straight edge when we were like 19. And I remember going like, why would you want to do that? That sounds boring, you know? Yeah, exactly, dude. Yes. Yeah. And, but it's cool, you know, and that whole movement has grown too, you know, into a whole just amazing thing. So I don't know where the hell I was going with that, but it's fun to
positivity is where you're
that's
going.
That's right.
Like
Positivity.
That.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
How about this? Hardcore positivity.
Yes.
And oh my God, I just jumped off the noon meeting before I joined you today. Mm-hmm. And the speaker, who's my homie who got 1 year last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's a Zoom baby, right? So he's like as my friend calls it, he's experiencing sobriety.
Sobriety. I got it. Yeah.
Sobriety. Yeah. He had another one too. Zoom baby, and it was very clever, but I can't remember it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not as clever as him. So, but he shared something and he called it like post-traumatic growth.
Oh wow. Huh.
We were all like, yeah, dude.
Whoa. Right?
That's some positivity, man. And I mean, I do like hardcore. Wait, what is that?
PTG.
PTG, baby. There ain't no disorder to it, bro. No disorder. It's like a PMA with some PTG.
That's right. Hell yeah.
For those of you who don't know, PMA stands for Positive Mental Attitude from the Bad Brains.
Yes.
I can't remember what album, but HR lyrics. Yep. So, and he talked about post-traumatic growth. So I do like hardcore music, but I don't know that many bands.
Yeah.
But I got to tour with Hatebreed.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
They're kind of
awesome. Yeah.
Like the premiere, you know, more like commercial, whatever. But I mean, just call Hatebreed commercial so funny.
Oh yeah, dude, those guys are awesome. Love it.
But I remember the first time I really heard them, and it was all, "Now is the time for me to rise," and I was like, "Oh,
yes,
this isn't like I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill myself."
You.
Right?
Yeah.
What'd you say?
No, until like you're right. It's like positive hardcore.
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah, I was in that band Amen, and we did Tattoo the Earth in 2000 tour. Slipknot, Slayer, Sepultura, Seven Dust, maybe another main stage band or two.
That sounds so
there was a ton of bands. But then on the side stage, it was like Mudvayne and Hatebreed and Amen and 1 Minute Silence and that dude Zoltan from Five Finger Death Punch had a band called UPO, which I don't know what it stands for, but UPO. And so it was a ridiculously, terribly organized tour, but it was amazing.
Oh, dude, it sounds so fun.
And we always ended up somehow next to Hatebreed, and we were hardcore. I don't know if you ever heard Amen, the band I was in.
I
Amen.
haven't heard a lot of Amen. I'm going to now though. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Dude.
Yeah.
I recommend. Okay, so I didn't play on all the albums. I played on technically the first three, but I'm only credited for the first two, which fair enough. That was the case when it got to the third one. It was the Casey Chaos Show, he is the singer of Amen. But
okay.
We were hardcore too. I mean, but it was like We Have Come for Your Parents is the record I would recommend to you.
Okay, I'm looking it up right now.
We Have Come for Your Parents. Okay. Shannon Larkin of Godsmack currently played with me in that band, as did John Fonestock from Snot.
Dang, I love how you all you guys too in different bands, and a lot of dudes, which is awesome too, like in recovery and sober now too. But it's such a tight knit community of guys like who support each other and have played worked with each other in different aspects. It's really cool to see, dude, and be a part of too, because I get to jump in a lot of the meetings and stuff too. So it's pretty neat, dude.
Yeah,
really cool.
Dude, it's really neat. Yeah. So where were we? Snot?
Yeah, let's hear a little more about Snot, dude. Like what? So we get to, where did we leave off? I know we went.
Well, I know exactly where we left off.
Okay, pick it up, please.
Yeah. This time I do. Yeah. And so for our listeners, apologies if you are having trouble following, but
they're going to love this. They're going to love this.
This is your boy. This is how your boy comes in.
Yep. I love it. It's great.
Okay. So we were talking kind of about when I was asked to join Snot.
Yeah.
Right. So I drove out to Santa Barbara from Northern Virginia. My boy John was in Santa Barbara, but he had a court case to deal with. And so we arranged it. So he flew back for his court case to Maryland, and then I drove up and met him, and we drove together across the country.
Damn, it's a long drive. It's a long drive.
Whew, bro.
Yeah.
We did that in 65 hours.
Damn.
That's really good. And we did stop twice and actually got like some cheap hotels with like the fucking vibrating bed and everything. I had to unplug it because it wouldn't. I put wood quarter in it and was going like, I was like, stop.
It reminds me of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. John Candy and Steve Martin. Great.
Those aren't pillows.
A fucking great movie.
How about those Bears? They're going to go all the way this year.
We just watched that, my wife and I, a couple weeks back. That's so funny, dude.
What a great movie, dude. Great, obviously Thanksgiving movie.
Yep.
Anyway,
so you're traveling.
we drove across the country. I've never met these guys in my life except for John. And I didn't really know John that well either. We played in a band together. Side project for Shannon.
Yeah.
Where Shannon of MF Pitbulls was the singer. The three of us wrote the songs together, so we played drums, but we had a singer that was Shannon Larkin, and we'd have a drummer. Oh, here's a little background too. So just back up a little bit more from where where we were. Go back to 92, 93. When I filled in for the guitar player of Wrathchild, got broed down with Shannon Larkin. Shannon's like, you should play in my side project and we'll kill it. And you got to meet my bass player, Toomer. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I would have done anything a dude said. He was like a legend in our area. If he said, hey man, we're going to be in this band and it's called Fuck Faces, I would have been like, call me Fuck
I'm in. Call me Fuckface. I'm in.
Yep. Fuck Face number 4. That's me. So I guess I would have been number 3. But so we started writing stuff together. But we had, check this out, all props to Slipknot. They're dear friends of mine. But we actually had 2 percussionists. This was Shannon's dream. Shannon on vocals, 2 percussionists with just kick drums on their sides, right? And and there was like cool off-time percussion stuff, and then a drummer. Well, we actually stole Jamie Miller from a band in Baltimore called Mary Suicide. Jamie Miller was the drummer of Snot.
Okay.
And he was drummer of MF Pitbulls, the drummer of Snot. He started his own band with his wife called The Start. They were called Hero and then The Start. And then now he plays in a band called Bad Religion.
That's crazy.
Might have heard that.
Just a little bit. Just a couple, maybe a couple songs. I don't know.
Bro, he's an alien, dude. He has alien genes. If he's not from there, they were like, here, have some. Yeah. And he's like, he's amazing. Wow. And he was the same, we had a breed of drummers called the Slinkback. Slinkback, because the way they played was this like this crazy maneuver, and the arms were like, I mean, Tommy Lee was really like, yeah, man. Yeah. And these dudes, they were like new hybrids of that. They kind of so Shannon was really the kind of the kingpin of the clique. Not kind of, he is. And so there's like Jamie, and there's all kinds of guys. I mean, even Joey Jordison, bro. Like we toured with Joey. God bless Joey, man. Yeah. How about that, bro? Love that guy. I'll say rise in power, Joey. Don't rest in peace. Rise in fucking power, dude. I like that. So, Jamie Miller was a Slinkback. Morgan Rose is a Slinkback, right? And I got to play with all these guys. I'm so lucky. and I still get to sometimes. Yeah. And so, we stole Jamie and like MF Pitbulls, right? So Jamie was still back east when I was still there. When I moved to Santa Barbara, and back to the night I got to Santa Barbara, it literally was like 2 a.m. Yeah. And the funny thing is, 1 a.m., whatever, we got in, man, 65 hours. We probably slept for 12 of those hours. Yeah. We get there and the guys aren't home. Like there's the Snot House, where we had the Snot House.
Yeah. In Santa Barbara.
Yeah, East Montecito, 1228C, East Montecito.
That's sick.
Up off of Milpas. Yeah. Behind the Scolaris. I don't know if it's called Scolaris anymore. Right below the APS. Do you know Santa Barbara?
I've been there a couple times. It's been a while, but I do know Scolaris because that was a grocery store that was near my grandpa's out in Reno, out in the Reno area. So that's funny. We don't have Scolaris out, at least in Northern California we did. And I don't know if they're down in Southern or whatever. But
I've only seen them. I've only seen one.
Yeah, and that's
it. It was on Milpas at the corner of East Montecito.
Yeah, that's funny. So you show up and nobody's there.
No one's home. So I'm like, yo, I need to take a shower. Yeah. I need to shave my dome. Like I need to tighten my life up. Yeah. So I'm shaving my head, and the dudes get home, and there's 3 of them: the singer Lynn Strait, the guitar player Mikey Doling, and the drummer Brent. I can't remember Brent's last name, but God bless him.
You had never met any of these guys in person yet. This is like, you're totally just the new guy. Like, holy shit. Wow.
I talked to him one time on the phone and got a tape got a demo. They sent me, this is 1995.
Yeah, it's great.
They mailed me a tape, and when I was, and I left. Oh, so that was April. It was Easter when we talked, Easter Sunday. They mailed me the tape, and then I drove out. Here's another rad thing. I drove out at the end of May and arrived on May 27th. So at the beginning of April to May 20, we'll call it 4th, whatever, I had the tape.
Yeah.
5 songs, something like that. And so I drove around for like 2 or 3 weeks, not picking up the guitar, trying to play. I just listened.
Yeah.
And I got into the thing. I was like, all right, feel you. Okay. That vibe, okay. And then I picked up the guitars and I knew all the songs without even, it was rad. I was like, I got it. I got this shit. Yeah. And it's great. And so they got home. They come in like a cup, like 3 bowls in a china shop at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Mikey, half my head shaved. Mikey comes in the bathroom. Hey, dude, what's up, bro? Hey, you want a cheeseburger?
Damn. Yeah.
Dude, it was so great. And I was like, yeah. I'm like eating the cheeseburger and shaving. I was so hungry. I was like, yeah. Ouch. All right. And then I finish up and I go out and I walk in the living room and there's these guys and I'm like, hey guys, I'm Sonny. And Lynn's like, hey man, I'm Lynn. You want to see my new piercing? I'm like, sure. And he drops his trowel. He pulls his dick out.
Nice to meet you.
Prince Albert or what's the other one? Whichever.
Something
Prince Albert, like through the head, I think.
Oh God!
Dude. I can't remember now that I can't remember I can't remember which cock piercing he had.
Yeah.
Go figure. I let that one go.
Good for you. Good for you.
And I was like, oh yeah, dude. And then we wrap out for a minute and we're like, they go, hey, want to go jam? And I was like, yeah. So 2 o'clock in the morning, Santa Barbara time, I just drove 65 hours. We go straight to their rehearsal space, which is a dump on this street called Yananali, which was this, I don't know what to call it, a garage kind of thing where we had all our gear. Yeah. And there was a couple people living there who I guess we trusted, even though they were smoking crystal meth and stuff. Our stuff never got stolen. And then there was a gay bar. I just want to call it the Blue Oyster because I can't remember what else it was called. Blue something, I think. And then there was the 101 Cafe, which was a strip joint.
Wow.
I pulled my first ex-wife out of the strip joint, by the way. So trite.
I pulled my first ex. That's great, dude. Great.
What, buddy?
But I pulled my first ex-wife. That's hilarious. If
you can't see me, I'm just like shaking my head and smiling.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes, my first ex-wife.
So sounds like a really nice area that you guys went to rehearse at 2 a.m.
Santa Barbara was really nice, except for that street.
Yeah.
And then we jammed, and it was like, it was a glove, man.
Dude,
and
crazy.
Then it didn't work out with that drummer, and it was kind of my fault. I was like, this guy's not. I mean, I had just played with Shannon and Jamie Miller, Shannon Larkin and Jamie. I was like, we're not gonna do this with right. And I want to highlight. I want to really because it's this podcast. I had already been in rehab when I was a teenager, as you kind of mentioned before.
Yeah.
When I was 16, I was in rehab, and then this was would have been I was 23 when I got there, and then a couple months later I turned 24, and so I had been to rehab, didn't want nothing to do with it, man. I faked it, literally, bro. And hopefully I won't get too far on a tangent because I'm going to talk about sobriety again. When I was 16, and I was a troubled child, man. I was a troubled dude, and like we are. And I went and I found drugs and rock and roll and the things that I was like, yeah, man. Yeah. Like, I feel seen, or I feel like I'm being understood and all this stuff, right? Even though my grandfather on my dad's side was a Pentecostal pastor in Southern Virginia. And it was horrific for me as a child. My dad, son of a preacher man, atheist, Shane.
Wow.
Atheist. There's no God. He wasn't like, fuck you, he was like, literally, you know the guy, what's his name, from Napalm Death, the singer, Napalm Death. Anyway, he's got a tattoo on his back that says, it says religion, and it has the circle and the bar through it, and it says, no thanks.
Just simple as that. Yeah.
That's how my dad was.
Yeah.
On his deathbed, dude, people were asking him, hey, Ron, can we pray with you? And he was so sweet, dude. He said, no thanks.
Huh. No thanks.
And dude, I honestly, and I had 12 years of sobriety, and I'm looking at him going, well, that's the most spiritual thing I've ever seen.
Huh. Crazy.
No thank you. No thanks. And they're like, right? So I my grandfather had this seminar. I am all over the place. My grandfather had this seminar where he brought in an outside pastor from somewhere down there where they go, can you say amen in Jesus Christ? Do you believe that? Right?
Yeah.
And then all the holy, holy, lordy, lordy, all that. And it was all on backwards messages in music, subliminal messages in music. I was 10, and my sister shared this with me because somehow she got a tape of it. This guy was.
I remember hearing about some of that shit, like Rolling Stones type of stuff. Like you could play back. I have an album. I can't remember the name of it. It's the one album that's got it's like a hologram on the front. It's satanic something. The name of it I can't remember, but supposedly, allegedly, there's some backward stuff on it. I don't know. Never played it, but anyways, yes, made me think of that.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's on those, right. And so I listened to this tape, dude. And I was 10. I love music. I've always, I started the xylophone in the fucking 3rd grade.
Yeah.
I had played viola already. I was already playing sax. I was a musician, and I loved rock and roll, man. And I listened to this thing, and this guy's like, here it is. And he plays all these things. AC/DC, Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
He plays Kiss, God of Thunder, Rob You of Your Virgin Soul.
Yeah.
He plays Led Zeppelin, Black Dog. Well, so those were forward messages, right?
Yeah.
Like God of Thunder, rock and roll, the spell you're under will slowly rob you of your virgin soul. Love it, dude. I love that shit. I loved it. Still love it.
Yeah.
And then I hear this thing, and he plays, hey, mama said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. He plays it backwards.
Yeah. Oh, what?
Black Dog. He plays it. Did you go into it?
Yeah.
He plays it backwards, Shane. And it says, yes, Satan is my prince, but I must worship him. And I heard it. And I went, oh my God, I'm going to hell, dude. I'm going to hell.
Oh, shit.
And bro, and there was more, way more. The Beatles, I Buried Paul, like all this other. You ever heard that?
I haven't heard that one. I've heard that there. Yeah, I haven't heard it though.
It's on Abbey Road. And there was some other stuff. I can't remember, but it was all the things I loved, bro. Judas Priest,
Yeah.
And I was 10, dude, 1981.
Yeah.
Maybe 82. And I literally woke up screaming, and I would see demons in my room. Like,
damn.
Yeah. And I was my parents would come in, oh, everything's okay,
Yeah.
And night terrors or whatever, but I'd see these demons, man, and I honestly, I feel like I had this moment where maybe my nature came in, and I was like, if they were gonna rip my soul apart or tear me apart, they probably would have done it already.
Yeah.
And then they were gone. Right? And then I was like, I'm on a highway to hell. My friends are gonna be there too. I was like, oh wow, like, right? Let's go.
Yeah.
And then I was like, let's do this. And I started rebelling against that God. I hated that God. Right? And so so fast forwarding into me at 16 years old in rehab, and they're like, God. I'm like, no.
Yeah. No. Because that was who you associated God with, was that experience. And I guess I'd like to point out, just in this part of this convo, is for me, and there's such a big difference between religion and legalism and a relationship with God and spirituality. And that is something that growing up Catholic for me, like I did catechism and I always felt like I was disrespecting my grandparents if I didn't follow that way. It took me a spiritual awakening in my own experience to finally realize that, like, wait a minute, it's not so much about rituals and legalism and, you're going to hell. Like it's totally different. And I could see how that shapes people's viewpoints of God or of something higher, faith, at a young age. And then they go down that path because they've been rubbed the wrong way by it, dude. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. It's not, and it wasn't a personal relationship.
Yeah.
Right. And so I became so very angry and lashed out for 20 years.
Yeah.
Until I hit bottom at 30, and we can get to that. But
what did you think of I want to hear a take, if you don't mind. What did you think the demon part was? That's interesting to me. Like, do you remember seeing them? Like, do you remember Like, was it a feeling? Was it an actual like visual or both? Or
yeah, man, I feel I see it. I see gnashing teeth. That's what I see, and claws.
Teeth. Yeah, wow.
Like they're gonna rip me apart.
Yeah. Dang, that's crazy.
Like, and they were out here, and it was really fear.
Yeah, fear, totally.
And that's the thing, man. Again, when I came in 2000, we'll say 2 because I got it. I'm class of 01 by one day.
By one day. Yeah.
Made it. Hit the buzzer, bro.
Yeah.
I was this angry agnostic, right? Mm-hmm. And this is kind of what I wanted to highlight too, is my nature is that I love animals.
Yeah.
I love children. I love art. I love music. I love cuddling. I love being kind. Oh, wait. I love, period.
Yeah.
That's the statement. I love.
Huh.
Like I am there, or I love, therefore I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that would be my little statement. I love, therefore I am. I don't. And so, yeah, man. So I was so angry. And 16 years old, I go into rehab, and I'm just like, everybody. 2 weeks, a 6-week program. Fuck everybody. Yeah. And oh man, hold on. My gardener's coming. Son of a bitch. Oh, he's right on time. Thursday, 2:00. So hopefully it's not too annoying.
I can barely hear
so you. I was 16 and I was they were taking us to meetings. This is 1987. And oh, by the way, the rehab that I was in, Arlington, Virginia, at Arlington Hospital, I wasn't allowed to do this. I wasn't allowed to touch a guitar.
Really?
Bro, not only could I not play it, I wasn't allowed to touch one.
Damn.
But you know why? It was considered drug-related behavior.
Wow.
How about that? Things have changed. Now I'm with an organization called Rock to Recovery, and I take guitars into rehabs.
Yeah. Ah! Talk about like wanting to rebel. Like, okay, you're going to take everything, and then you're going to take my guitar too. Like, hey, I'm not. I could have. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Is that gnarly?
I can hear it, but it's cool. It's all right. We'll roll with it.
All right, maybe I'll back off my input a little bit. Hopefully won't be too long. Maybe I'll move down the way.
We're living life, you know.
Yeah, life is happening around us everywhere.
Right.
Just so you guys know, life is happening. And this is great that you're in Huntington, I'm in Culver City. And
yeah.
We're here together right now.
Right now.
So I was at a meeting that the rehab took us to, and I literally, bro, had my back to everybody in the circle. I was like, man, fuck, punk ass kid, dude. So lost and afraid, so scared, so angry and hurt, and just lost child.
Yeah.
And this guy comes up and he really is trying to be helpful, and he goes, hey man, he's trying to be cool. Hey, listen, fake it till you make it. And I was like, yeah, nice rhyme. Okay. Thanks, bro. Now, here's where I want to say that we as people of 12-step programs, AA, whatever you're in, I think we have a responsibility that if we're going to say that, when we say that type of thing to people, we need to let them know what it means, because we have all these kitschy little sayings that can be pretty kind of like cryptic, like, wait, what? Fake what until I make what?
Yeah. What do you mean?
I don't know which one I'm supposed to know first. What I'm trying to make, so then I can then fake, which they don't really mean fake it, which I did fake it. I literally I faked it. I lied. I started acting the way I thought everyone wanted me to, and all of a sudden, well, Sonny's doing so good. Oh yeah, he's sharing in groups and going to meetings, and
But it was all an act.
I was faking it, dude. What we mean, I don't say that shit. You can, or if I do, someone says it like, someone said fake it till you make it. I go, you know what that means? I'll ask them, like, and I'm not trying to be a whatever.
Yeah, trying to explain though a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm like, well, first of all, it's not AA literature.
Yeah, yeah. I've never.
It's not 12-step literature. I don't know if it says it in any of it. So, what they mean is act as if, meaning do the actions and watch the results. So, for instance, if I hired you as a trainer, to a physical trainer, or to teach me to surf, and I would and you go, do this, and I would just do it. And then if it was a training thing, let's just go keep it simple. We'll keep it with physical training.
Okay.
If I just go and do what the trainer says and just do it, it doesn't matter even if I believe that it's going to work. It just I just naturally, I feel better, sleep better. I'm, fit, Australian girl can't kill me because I'm actually fit. The heart attack can't kill me because I'm fit.
Yeah.
You can't take me down. Second heart attack can't kill me.
You're just doing what you're told.
You just do the things. And so I have, sometimes I feel like I'm kind of, I don't know, a contrarian sort of, but I feel like it's a responsibility to be clear.
Yeah.
I want clarity.
Yeah. I
don't want oh, don't worry about that. All you need to know is there's a God and you're not it. No, that's not all. No, I need to know. I need more than that.
Yeah.
Well, that's your ego. Is it now? The book says that we were intelligent. We are actual intelligent beings. And it wasn't sufficient to be told certain things. Mm-hmm. So I need more. I'm an intelligent human. You are. I'm going to respect you and go, hey, just so you know, this means this.
Yeah.
So fake it till you make it means take the action. So people go, people say this thing, they go, you probably heard it. Man, the big book has all the answers. And I go, no, it doesn't. It has all the actions.
That's good.
Right? And then the action, okay, the action's the answer. All right. Okay. If you want to, but man, I want to be, specific.
Yeah.
Right? So scared, angry Sonny carries that in, man. And eventually I drank when I had 6 months. Oh yeah, because here's what happens too sometimes is that people like myself who come into a situation early of sobriety, I came in and I was 16, man. I couldn't get booze. I couldn't get my hand. Neither of my parents, my dad had a liquor cabinet. God bless him. My mom has never had a drink. My mom's never willfully taken a drink.
Really?
Maybe some food with some wine.
Yeah.
Some dessert, tiramisu, whatever.
But not like a cocktail or a beer or anything like that.
Never gone, a glass of nothing.
Yeah.
By choice, because her father was an alcoholic. Go figure. I don't know if it's hereditary, but and my grandfather on the other side had some things potentially too.
Yeah.
But where was I? So 16-year-old Sonny, right? Oh, I came in and I was like, I got it. I was like, my name is Sonny and I'm only an addict. I'm just an addict.
Well, you weren't an alcoholic, just an addict.
Well, I didn't know what the hell I was talking about. I didn't know what alcoholic was. Even though I was watching lectures and reading books, or they were reading books at me, I didn't want to be an alcoholic. I didn't want to be an addict, but I was like, all right, I love weed. Yeah. Weed and acid were my favorite things in the world. I was like, I'm going to be in a wheelchair smoking weed and dropping Red Star acid. I wrote a song called Red Star about this acid.
Did you?
Yeah. And I actually ripped off Jimi Hendrix. I was like, don't know if it's up or down. I stole from Purple Haze, which is about acid too.
Yeah.
Which I was actually ahead of my time because all the rappers, man, and whoever, we'd be quoting people, right?
Oh yeah. I never got into the acid so much. Just weed though. I loved some pot, marijuana. Oh man, yeah.
I liked opening the doors of perception.
Mm-hmm. That was one thing. Like when I stopped. I still play guitar a little bit here and there. I'll mess around with my son and stuff, but like there was this big disconnect for me when I got sober because I always wrote and played shows, like whatever. It was always when I was intoxicated. And then so when I went to get sober, I had like this connection was totally different. And it actually pushed me out of really this, I still love music, but like it pushed me out of that. And that's how I ended up doing podcasting for a living. But like, it's weird how that happens, man. There's a disconnect there sometimes. And I actually do. And some people might disagree with me. I don't know, but I do think there are doors that open up through weed, like through different substances that you unlock certain parts of your brain that help you to be creative and create things sometimes. I mean, I think that's true. Do I want to do that? No, I like being sober personally, but I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of music that has been created on people that were extremely intoxicated and it's great.
We can go so far as to say art.
Exactly. I think that's a much better way to put it. Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. It's broad. I'll just say, it's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Biochemical changes.
Yep.
Different things are accessed. It's simply a fact that there's a reason your eyes, your pupils dilate.
Yeah.
There's more input, more information.
Yep.
It's just a fact, bro, that happens. And I did too. I did the same thing, bro. I did the same type of stuff.
That disconnect?
Yeah, at first, yeah. And I'd been in bands for major label bands for we'll say 6 years.
How did you adjust to that? Like, how did it take a long time? Did you do anything in particular, or was it just like you just kind of had to ride it out?
It took some time. I was in that band Amen when I did hit bottom and got sober. And I went on a tour in early 2002. In fact, I had like 19 days.
Yeah.
And we went and did a tour called The Big Day Out, which was amazing. Australia and New Zealand. Wow. Bro, it was amazing. It was perfect.
Yeah.
I was really mostly coming off meth. Cause you know, cause weed was making me paranoid. So
brilliant, just brilliant.
And meth I was smoking meth cause it relaxed me.
Yeah. It doesn't make you paranoid at all. Yeah.
I just want to chill out, man.
Yeah.
I want to smoke meth and lose teeth and lose weight and lose friends. And
yeah. Sounds awesome.
Man, so I went on this tour, bro, and it was fantastic because there were so many friends. Drowning Pool, God rest Dave Williams, Drowning Pool, and my friend Shavo, System of a Down was on the tour too, and I would hang out with my friend Shavo, who's not sober, and we'd hang out. I was placed in a position of neutrality, man. I was safe for the moment because I hadn't really started the steps. But I was safe, and I wasn't on a pink cloud at that time. It was rad, but I wasn't on a pink cloud. I was actually in that space, like we'll call it grace.
Yeah.
And maybe some people go, grace is undeserved blessing. I might have deserved it. I might have, because I was I'm done. Like, help me, God. I can't do this anymore. Please help me.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then help the inside, because I don't look at God as being like God is on the mountaintop and in the clouds and in the core of the earth and in my dogs and also in my heart.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
And yours.
Yeah, that's good.
And potentially even in a volcano or a hurricane or,
Yeah.
So anyway,
I think it goes back to, like you said earlier, real quick. I love. My sponsor say that to me a lot too. Like, if God is love, then he has sponsees, or we've talked to other people who have the issue with God. Maybe they had a weird upbringing and they had those resentments, kind of like similar to your story. But if God is love, which I believe God is love, then that's an easy way to look at it too. For someone out there listening who maybe is struggling with that, just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, dude. And in fact, that's great too, because as I came back from that tour, I got to do that tour sober, dude. I went to meetings in Australia, and I was a maniac. I went to a meeting when I had 30 days. I was in Australia. And I went to a meeting, and it was in like a psych ward.
Oh, no shit.
And they were looking at me like, is this a patient here? Should we be? Because I was like, yo, I got 30 days, and I just played in front of 60,000 people, and I'm sober, and I'm like, hey, and I'm going to these parties, and then I'm leaving because I want to, because I can, and I don't have to, right? I was so stoked, bro.
Yeah.
And so it was great. And then I would go out into the world, man. I had just spent years being part of a band and going on tours, and when I was on tour with Amen, mostly I would the first week and a half, 2 weeks, I would be asleep for fucking 20 hours a day because I was coming off meth. I was the reverse guy. I didn't throw down as hard on tour.
Yeah,
I did it at home, bro.
Oh wow.
I lived in Hollywood, Koreatown area, man. My meth dealer lived right down the way, and then she would come over with GHB, and I didn't leave my house.
Damn.
I didn't leave my room in my apartment. My roommate's like, man, this guy's great. He never comes. He's quiet. And I play music, but I try to be chill because I was like, no one can, got to be down here. Anyway,
it's funny when you said GHB. This is hilarious. Totally fucking random here, but the first thing I think of for some reason when I hear GHB is Sebastian Janikowski, the old kicker from the Oakland Raiders. That's just the most funniest thing, because there was some weird shit that I don't even know why I had to bring that up, but it's just hilarious. I had this quick vision when you said that. Anyways, you're in Hollywood. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. GHB.
Our brains work similar.
Yeah. It's just crazy like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was coming off meth in Australia. Yeah. And so I would sleep, and bro, it was the greatest tour. It was called The Big Day Out, but it was more like The Big Day Off, because here's what would happen. It was a festival.
Yeah.
So, and it was, the first show was in Auckland, New Zealand. And then it was I think it went to Brisbane, Gold Coast, Surfers Paradise was where we were staying on the water. It was great.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I went to water and shit, man. It was so great. And then we went down and around the continent of Australia.
Wow.
Right. And let me know if you good?
You just started. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, we'll just roll with it, man. It's
all right.
Good. Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me look.
Okay.
Oh, he's trimming my fucking tree, dude.
He's real close now. He's real close to the. Yeah, there he goes. He's done now. Oh, there he goes.
Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. It's not. It's. I mean, it ain't that loud.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn it. So he's so rad, and I'm so pissed. So coming in my yard now.
Yeah.
We might need like a couple minutes.
That's cool. Yeah, we can do that. Oh yeah, he's getting after it there.
He's right on the other side of that door.
Yeah.
Right there.
I do not miss doing my yard work and stuff because we sold our house not too long ago, and like I don't know, some days I would enjoy it, but is your dog's on him, huh?
Oh, she hates him. I don't dislike him, but she hates him. And I've taught her. Oh, he's
yeah.
He's acting like he's done, but he might run out of gas.
There he is.
So I don't know if you want to edit that or whatever, but on that tour,
I'll probably just leave it in if that's cool.
Okay, fine.
I don't care.
I don't mind.
Okay, cool.
You can push the fast forward 15 seconds.
Yeah, there we go.
And so I would, so the big day off, we would land in a city, start with Auckland. We landed there. We played the show the second day, but then we had 3 days off because they had to take everything and move it to Brisbane, Gold Coast.
Oh, wow.
And they would set everything up, and then we'd fly in, and we would play the show, and then they have to go down to Sydney or whatever's next, Melbourne. I can't remember the geography, but they would set up, and then so we had like 2 or 3 days off between every gig, and we had killer hotel rooms.
Yeah,
and we were one of the opening bands. We played at fucking 1 p.m. every day on the there was only one stage, thankfully, back and forth, and then when the headliners came on, it was the whole or the big bands, whatever. Yeah. There were smaller stages actually, but we were on the main stage, but like noon or 1.
Yeah.
So I would sleep and eat and explore the Australian and New Zealand cities. And we were on Virgin Records. Our rep took me and Chavo and Rich Jones, who was the guitar player at the time. He replaced Paul Fig, my homie. She took us to this beach called Piha. You ever heard of that?
I haven't.
Bro, black sand beaches.
Really?
Yeah, it's molten rock. It was lava that turned to rock that eroded into beautiful, soft black sand.
Oh, that's crazy. Never heard of it.
Yeah, dude. And they kind of hung out. I went across this little creek because I'm like, I need to go over there and run. Bro, I was wearing like a black t-shirt with safety pins that had been me and Shannon Larkin had worked out, so it was like said amen, and that was a pentagram. And then I had like black whatever pants on, and then I had these Fluvog boots that I took off and jumped over this creek and ran as fast as I could in my life on this black sand beach. The sand matched my clothes, which matched my black soul that I was trying to turn into light. And so anyway, man, it was a great experience. And I started to become more aware of who I am and how much I actually love. And so I left that band, man, because it was not conducive to my sobriety, bro. It was toxic.
Yeah.
It's the only tattoo I have, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's amen, and it's a
I see
it's
it.
an American. It's the United States American flag and a pentagram over it.
Wow.
I mean, it is.
When did you get that? You got that when you were in the band in Amen.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was angry, man. It was just hateful, right? And I mean, props to Casey Chaos, ultimate artist, performer, like Iggy Pop, Gigi Allen, fucking Henry Rollins, wrapped up in it. I mean, just like, but he had his own voice too. He has his own voice.
It's funny though too, like how we get, especially with tattoos, there are these moments of time, and there are these moments of feelings, and there's moments of identity that we identify as or with, or things we're going through, and then they're fucking on us forever. You know what I mean? So even though we change and maybe we evolve and maybe we're not that same person that we were, there's like this reminder of that time in our lives, which is really crazy, man. Like people ask me, what's your favorite tattoo? And I'm like, well, man, I don't know, man. I got a lot of them in different places. And like the one tattoo that meant something to me 10 years ago means something totally different today. It's crazy, man.
Absolutely. Same here, man. Yeah. I got this one, which is, it says life. And then it's the number 313. That's not an area code. And then there's an infinity loop through it. 313 is this recurring number. Actually, I got kind of keen to it from the bass player of Snot, John Funstock, and Amen. Like at one point he was like, dude, this is when we were at the Snot house together, and I was sleeping on his floor for the first couple of weeks before I got my room in the garage worked out. Yeah, nice. below the house, like not even connected to the house. I had to come around.
You were down in the basement.
Yeah, bro, dungeon.
Yeah.
But he was like, bro, I keep waking up at 3:13 a.m.
Oh shit.
I was like, oh, and I had this memory. I went, dude, I'm kind of. I don't know if I'm weird or whatever, but I have this thing where I don't really do it as much anymore. But like when I wasn't thinking about something in particular, I would do mathematical problems in my head.
Interesting.
I call them simple maybe they're not. But I would always do it in integers of 3 1/3.
Oh. And
in my head, I would just, and they were pretty much whole numbers. I'd go 3 times 3 1/3 is 10. 6 times 3 1/3 is 20. 9 times 30, and I would just. Yeah. So when he said that, I went, bro. 3 1/3, and then of course Eminem was like,
made sense.
Yeah, and the 3 1/3. Everybody, I'm from the 3 1/3, whatever. but yeah, so I had to get that to balance it out, bro, because I have just like anger here, right? And I was like, I need it says life because I'm into numerology as well, not as much as I used to be. I found out too that some stuff that I was into when I was tweaking, I'm still into it.
Imagine that.
Like numerology and astronomy and, kind of some like sacred geometry and stuff like that. I like that shit.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
It is. It's just a different
some
perspective.
Hardcore music and some gangster rap and ghetto boys.
Yeah. I love old country, dude. That's like I don't know if you like a couple artists I love. I love Charlie Crockett. I don't know if you heard Charlie Crockett.
Send me some stuff because you might send me some stuff you like.
And he's a little. He's been around for a while, but I love Aaron Lewis too from Stained. I love his new country. He kind of went in a different direction. And then of course Merle Haggard, Johnny Cash. My son's name is Cash, man. I got Cash tattooed on my neck. Like that's because Johnny Cash, man, those roots, man. Used to go to garage sales with my grandma and grandpa back in the day in Napa, California. We'd roll around. Grandpa'd make biscuits and gravy, and then we'd hit up garage sales, dude, all morning listening to Johnny Cash and Willie Nelson and freaking the Highwaymen. Dude, so awesome, dude. That's like goes back to just music, dude. Music is such a big part of life in general, but I notice a lot of people in recovery too, man. I guess that's artists. It goes back to, like you said, artists, like art, period. We're creative people, creative souls, and there's this good and bad side to a lot of us, I feel like, there was a song by Papa Roach called My Bad Side. And I'd love to ask Jacoby one day a little bit more about what that, but I have a feeling that it's kind of similar to that. There's this good and there's this evil, and we kind of battle that. We battle that spirit some days. I know I have, I don't know if it sounds like from a lot of your experience and stuff too, like you said, like I love, but then man, there's this side of me that is just like, I want to destroy and self-destruct and be angry, and man, dude, it's weird. It's gotten a lot better for me since getting sober and stuff too, but it's still there. There's a little piece of it that I don't know, man. I don't know if it'll ever go away.
Yeah, dude, I completely feel you. In fact, just currently I've been experiencing, you see, we've been doing this hour and 36 minutes and I'm still like,
yeah, I love it, dude. Right? I love it. Yeah.
This energy is great. And there is a come down, bro. There's the pendulum swings, and I have anxiety and depression and regret. And I go, oh man. And I've been going through it recently. Yeah. Turned 50, a relationship ended that I was hopeful about that just didn't work out, and it's okay. Some financial stuff, what am I doing?
Life.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, life. It's just life, man.
Yeah.
And I don't blame it on alcoholism.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
I don't blame the anxiety. Yeah. I don't blame the anxiety and the depression on alcoholism. Here's the blessing.
Yeah.
I do not have the obsession to drink and use.
Most important.
There is the alcoholic in his, alcoholic mind that would be my solution, is to actually destroy myself.
Yeah.
And nowadays, dude, it's actually more like I would probably kill myself before I drank.
Dude.
That's real.
I gotta say something, bro. Like, it's weird to thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. But like, I gotta say, I have the same thought and the same thing, but I think I've been too scared to say it out loud. Like, cause I've talked about, man, I'll never go back. I never this, like, I don't have that thing anymore. I'm very aware that it's still there, but I think the same thing sometimes, dude. I think the same things, and it's actually kind of scary, it's kind of scary to think that, but it's real. It's a real thought, it's there, and maybe just keeping it in check and acknowledging it and even admitting it like right now can help, So thanks for saying that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Welcome. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's true. And I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone, especially like with people with long-term sobriety.
Yeah.
Who've recovered from alcoholism. I'm that guy too.
Yeah.
Like, I've recovered. It says it in the book so many times, dude. And God bless you if you want to keep saying I'll always be recovering. It's like, okay, if that's what you want to say. I live a life of recovery, but I have recovered from alcoholism, meaning that I do not have any at this time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm cured. I didn't say I'm cured. I said I've recovered, which the book says twice in the first foreword to the first edition.
Yeah, that's good.
We of Alcoholics Anonymous are 100 men and women who have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body, period. Next sentence, to show others, and this is in italics, precisely how we have recovered is the main purpose of this book.
Yeah, that's good.
So why not claim it, man? Triumph over alcoholism.
I love
enthusiasm, conquer. Like, these are words that are in the book. Like, we actually conquer alcoholism.
Yeah, that's good, dude. I love it.
Yeah, man. And so there's that. And then I'm again back to human.
Yeah. Well, I feel like that too. Like, I feel that, I feel God has restored a lot of, and I'm definitely like, there was a guy, Keith, my wife and I did Celebrate Recovery for a couple of years, man. Step study in there. It was crazy. Learned a lot of stuff. And there's a guy, Keith, in there. And one thing he said real simple, and I've always stuck with it, is I'm in process. He's like, I never have it all figured out. I don't claim to. I'm constantly, as long as I stay teachable and open to learning and to being in this process, like, God redeemed me. I feel like that. You know what I mean? Like, he's and he continues to show me along the way, and I'm okay with that. I don't need to beat myself up just to remind myself that I struggled with alcohol and drugs for so long. Like, I can be on the other side of that, bro. I love that. We don't need to do that anymore. I did plenty of that back in the day.
Yeah. I feel you 100%, man. And that's one of those things. Again, I do it enough, man, with the rest of the things.
Oh yeah.
I don't need to be like, oh, I'll always be,
Yeah. What? I want to point something out too for those out there listening who maybe you're struggling right now. Maybe you're out there and just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. Like, you just mentioned it, and you have actively, or are, or were, going through things still after however many years of sobriety, after touring the world, after, creating all these great projects and music for people and all these Rock to Recovery, which is, we haven't even talked about that yet. We got to get into that. Yeah. We got to do that. And just, and maybe we can go into that in just a second. Like, but you've done all these things, all these awesome things, but like, you still are dealing with life. You still have shit that you got to deal with. You still have things that that happen, and it's part of it, man. And we got to learn to be okay with that and sit in it and have community, people, dudes around us, ways to deal with it healthy instead of turning back to those old ways, man. Because feeling sucks sometimes, man. But I'm learning. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude, I feel you, man. This is human, right?
Yep.
And how about this, dude? I mean, really, what happened? I'll say happened to me, but potentially what happens to people when you take the steps and which it says will happen. You will have a spiritual awakening, and it will remove the obsession to drink and use.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the restoration of sanity. It's not your whatever. It actually says we're miracles of mental health. In the book, it says that.
Really?
There's a guy called Roy. There's a guy called Roy L. who's been sober for 40 years. And every time I see him, I'm like, "How you doing, Roy?" He goes, "A miracle of mental health." I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude!"
That's funny.
Right? It's a miracle. We've been,
Yeah, I'm gonna remember that one. Miracle. I like that. That's funny.
Yeah, a miracle of mental health. I can't remember which page it's on. We could look it up. the positivity of it, rather than torturing ourselves for continuing to be an alcoholic, like the restoration of sanity, just literally what it's mainly referring to is the obsession to drink and use. If I don't think that I want to, have to, need to, or get to now that it's been a while, or flat out just don't even know why I'm putting it in, whatever it is in my body. If I don't think that, I won't do it. Then the allergy, as we call it, of the body, or the phenomenon of craving, as we call it, allergy if you want, phenomenon. Yeah. But this physical, like, I have to do more. It doesn't have anything to do with how good it feels. Dude, how about this, man? I smoked crystal meth in a bathroom on an airplane in late September, early October of 2001, right after September 11.
Oh, wow.
I smoked meth in a bathroom on an international flight going to London. And I was brilliant, actually, because when I was like, I'm smoking, I'm looking at the smoke alarm. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Oh my God, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I did not want to do that.
Wow.
Understand? I want to let people know I didn't like that.
Yeah.
I stopped telling myself, oh, I love meth. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I did at a point because it did something for me.
Yeah.
That I was like, that. And then I was a slave to it. I didn't like it, man.
Yeah. You didn't want to do it.
Huh?
You didn't want to do it, but it was just, like you said, you were a slave to it. It was just...
Initially, it changed me, and I was like, yeah, I'm creative again. And then I'm smoking meth on a fucking airplane, looking at the smoke detector going, oh God, I don't want to do this. And then I was like, what the fuck am I going to do with all this smoke? Because it was going to be huge. Bro, I had a brilliant moment where I pushed the plunger of the sink and I flushed the toilet at the same time.
Oh, wow. And
I blew down past my things, the twig and berries, and blew it in the sink, and it did, and the smoke detector didn't go off. And that was on an international flight. So guess what I got to do after I smoked meth in the bathroom of an airplane?
Go sit in your seat?
I got to go sit in a chair in the sky, seat belted to the chair.
Damn.
That was so fun. I really enjoyed that.
Wow.
No, I didn't.
That sounds miserable.
And then I ran out, because we always do.
Yeah.
I ran out. And then I had to come down on tour in Europe, in my bunk. They called me the Lord of Sleep. That's what my band called me.
Really?
Yeah, because I was in the bunk 20 hours a day, dude, for a week or so. I'd get up, eat, sleep, get up, play the show, fall back asleep.
Damn.
And then I would sober up, and then I'd be like in my body, and I was like, yeah, rad. And I'd drink a little bit here and there, but I didn't really, I still didn't really like booze that much, but I drank when I didn't have the things I really thought I wanted. I drank it.
Yeah.
I don't call it a drug of choice. What meth was not, I did not choose that, dude.
Yeah.
I did. Somebody say their drug of choice is crack. I'm like, you chose that? No, dude.
Yeah. Why?
But if you want to call it that, right?
Yeah. Why?
If you want to call it that, okay. But I did not choose crystal meth.
Yeah.
I wouldn't choose that. I didn't get a menu.
Yeah.
That said, and I picked it. So, alcohol, and then again, still when I came in, I didn't really like booze.
Yeah.
Because my experience with booze was, I was a shitty drinker. Is it breaking up because the video is going a little weird?
Oh,
but is the audio?
No, it's still good. It's still good on my end.
Okay.
Is the video okay now?
Just a little bit, but I just want to make sure the audio was good too, because that's most important.
Okay.
I didn't have good experiences with booze. I was a terrible drinker. I was a puker. I was terrible at it.
Yeah.
I made everyone drink, like I was forceful, like we're all drinking, and then I'd fucking hit my head and whatever, I was terrible at it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna go this way. And I preferred going up. So I call it a drug of preference. It doesn't flow like DOC.
Yeah.
Catchy little thing again. This little catchy phrase. Hey, what's your DOC? I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Because then we can actually be different than each other. If my DOC, quote unquote, is different than yours, then we're different than each other. Oh, mine's heroin. Oh, so we're different. No, we're not.
No.
That's the thing. The problem may have different manifestations, but the solution is the same.
Absolutely. Love that. DOF
That's
too. No, DOP. Drug.
DOP.
So next time I say, Sonny, what's your drug of preference?
Yeah, what was your DOP again?
That's funny.
People are like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, dude. So when I came into the fellowship program for real at 30 years old, beginning of 2002, when I went to my first meeting, I was so willing, dude. I'd been beaten, as it says in the book, into a state of reasonableness. I was like, I didn't go to rehab. I didn't even think about going to rehab. Like, it didn't occur to me. I just didn't. I picked up the phone and was like, hey, please, you help me, help.
Yeah.
And they told me where a meeting was that was 7 blocks from my house. I went to it and I said, I don't know what to do. And they clapped. That's what we do in California.
Yeah. Lots of clapping. That's for, hugs and
everything.
clapping.
Birthdays.
And birthdays.
Clapping
That's
and
right.
birthdays.
Yep.
Clapping and cake.
Cake. Yep. That's right.
Candles, cake,
It's
clapping,
been
commitments.
such a while since I've been in like an in-person. I forgot about the cake actually until you just said that. So I kind of miss the cake, to be honest. I miss it a little bit. Anyways,
I would prefer vegan cake myself. Thank you very much. But but so I had to. I was willing to broaden my perspective and see that the description of alcoholism as a term, alcoholism, is broad. Now, there is scientific proof, studies, whatever, that addiction to certain, like addiction, if you will, because we want to, I mean, what, I'm not in NA, I qualify for it, but I just don't do NA, but I qualify. Alcohol is a drug, period. It is. So people are addicted to alcohol. It's a different type of response from the body, the blood. I mean, the gut and there's some kind of thing in the gut. My friend David W. is a master of like really breaking down the science of it.
Oh yeah.
The blood-brain barrier. There's that too.
Yeah, I have.
So all this stuff, and then but drugs come in through a different way of process. But it's again the solution for those of us, like me. It's the same solution.
Yeah.
And so I broadened my horizons, and I saw that my relationship with alcohol, despite me not really liking it, when I drank, it wasn't really because I wanted to. I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same here.
I drank for the effect.
Yep.
I didn't drink because I liked the taste. I didn't want to have just one. I have no interest in drinking like normal quote unquote people. I don't have interest. That's one of the things I disagree with the big book on or that's not my experience.
Yeah.
Is that my obsession is to drink like normal people. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
I just want to drink to get drunk. That's what I say this. I want to drink to escape. That's why I would like to drink. I want to drink to not feel. It wasn't, and maybe some social, have fun type of stuff, social anxiety type of stuff too, but more or less to take me out of who I don't know who I am already, so I can feel a little bit better. You know what I mean? It was never because I like the taste of it. Nasty.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
So it's to not feel the way that we're probably feeling at the time.
Yeah.
It isn't even, I mean, for me, it's not even necessarily that I don't want to quote unquote feel. I just don't want to feel like this.
Exactly.
I want to feel like something else.
Yep. 100%.
Right? So for me, it was like you just said, escape is oblivion. I want oblivion. I seek oblivion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I prefer that over a couple beers with the boys or a glass of wine with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a glass of wine? No.
Glass. I need that.
Interested.
I need that.
So
Carlos Rossi box wine or something like that.
Yes.
Sorry, you were going to say what?
Straight to the head.
Straight
to the head.
Yep.
Yeah. So I realized that when I drank alcohol, I was not, once I put it in my body, I was not in charge of what I did next. If I stopped, when I stopped. And here's the crazy thing is that sometimes I could stop, but it wasn't up to me. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And it would fool me. I would think I'm stopping because I don't want it anymore. But I was really like, ugh, feel gross.
Yeah.
But then there were times when I wanted to stop and it didn't even, I
couldn't.
And then I woke up the next day, where? Right? So we've been all over the place and it's been almost 2 hours. I love this and I could keep talking, but I want to talk about Rock to Recovery.
Yeah. Let's do that. And so real quick, dude, thank you so much, bro. This has been So much fun. I love hearing those old school stories too. I know that there's a lot of people who are going to love that as well. So thank you for sharing some of that stuff. And I think we had some great recovery talk and just sharing. And so thank you, bro, for taking the time. Almost 2 hours, dude. Amazing. Let's kind of finish it off then with some rock to recovery talk. And then I would love to hear if you just maybe take a minute, anyone struggling out there, like what advice you might give them to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't have anything to do until 7:30 p.m. tonight. So, so you let me know, bro, because I'll sit here and rap out with you because I love this stuff, man. I love it. I really do. Like, and my hope is that, there's some type of attraction rather than promotion that's going on here.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. For people like me or like us, or who know someone like me or like us, right?
Yep.
Are like, wow, that's very similar to so-and-so. Man, woman, or child, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or them, anybody. So, so with Rock to Recovery, man, I got to give a little bit of history because when I was in Snot, we linked up with a band called Head PE from Orange County.
Yep.
And a guy called Wes Gear was the mastermind and the guitar player, one of the guitar players of that band. And we linked up. We started trading shows. Like that's how we did it back in the day, bro.
Yeah.
We were in Santa Barbara, so we would start trading shows with bands in LA with System of a Down and Incubus and all these other bands, man. And then we met those guys and we started doing shows with them. We bring them to Santa Barbara. I mean, it was a party, dude.
Yeah.
Bands, when we brought bands to Santa Barbara, they were like, "This is like of the greatest vacation." There's smoking hot chicks because there's a college right there.
Yeah.
All the booze you want, the strip joints right down the way. There's all the drugs.
Just a straight party, huh?
Bro, I didn't know what to do with myself, man. I was like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
It was great. And it was insane. And so many wonderful memories. So we linked up and we became friends, right? And we started touring together. So there was this one particular tour that was Seven Dust, Snot, and Head PE. Now, eventually, I played in all three of those bands.
That's kind of crazy, huh? Yeah.
This was in 1997, but on that tour, I spent most of my time on the Seven Dust bus because Snot, I think we were in a damn RV or maybe even a van. I can't remember. But Head PE was in an RV too, and we threw down, man. I mean, we went bananas with each other. Yeah. So me and Wes would party together. By party I mean get ridiculous and lose our minds and smoke and snort meth and blah blah blah. And so we were buddies, and then I got sober in 02. At the end of 02, man, I left Amen. I had gone back to work as a vet tech because I needed a job. My head hit bottom. And I got the call from the drummer of Head PE. I always get drummer calls to join the band. I'm all great. Yeah. So BC of Head PE calls me. He goes, "Hey man," and this was a similar question that Morgan Rose would ask me later. Is "Hey bro, so how's it going, man? What's your party situation?" And I'm like, "Yo, at the time I'm sober 10 months." And BC goes, "Cool, you want to join Head PE?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." Yeah. And he goes, "We're finishing up this album, and then we're gonna go on tour." I go, "All right. Give me the songs, give me the tunings, So I learn all these songs. I start touring with them in like late 02, and I'm on tour and I'm sober. And these didn't exist. Smartphone didn't exist.
Yeah.
Dial up in the damn hotel lobby for $7 a minute. In the business center in the lobby of a hotel.
The business center, yes.
Yeah. Yep. Get on the internet, surf the web for $7 a minute.
Damn, crazy.
So I'd go in. And I'd look up meetings and go to meetings on tour, bro. Take taxis to meetings, and people be like, "You took a taxi to a meeting?" I'm all, "Dude, I took a taxi to the bar. Why not take a taxi to the meeting?" And they'd be like, "Cool, you need to ride back after the meeting?" I'm all, "Yes, I do." You want to come see my band play tonight?" They're all, "Yeah, what band?" I'm all, "Head P." They're like, "What? You're playing with Saliva? You're playing with Breaking Benjamin?" Yeah. I'm all, "Great." It was great, dude. So I was already getting on tour, and but Wes Gear in the band with me, other guitar player, not sober, and I was hanging, dude. I could go where free men went because I took the steps, and I could back out. And the singer was so rad, dude. Ultimately, I didn't want to continue once Wes left the band. I toured with him for a while, but I didn't want to continue. I didn't like the direction it was going. So I was like, but the singer was so rad because how lead singers will kind of take over the back lounge. Yeah. For people who don't know, bands, lead singers usually take over the back lounge if they don't have their own bus. So he took over the back lounge, smoked weed, drank, whatever.
Yeah.
And I went to him early and I said, hey, bro, so I need to ask you a favor. Every day, I need 20 to 30 minutes in the back lounge. I need some privacy because I got to do my morning routine. And he was like, you got it, dude. Let me know. And by morning routine, it was like, we're on tour. It was 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And I go, knocking, he goes, yeah, give me 20 minutes. I go, you got it, bro. And then he'd clear out whatever and he'd go for a walk, whatever he did. And I go back and I read my morning meditation books, 24 hours a day, daily reflections. At that time, I was reading a book called 365 Tao, T-A-O, like Taoism or Tao, as people say. And a book, daily book by Emmett Fox called Around the Year with Emmett Fox. And I would go back there and there's a bong here and there's a solo cup with beer in it with a cigarette butt in it. And I'd sit back there and I would read those books and I would meditate for X amount of time every day.
Yeah.
And little did I know, Wes was seeing that shit. And so eventually, he had a falling out and he left the band. We stayed in touch.
Yeah.
A few years later, he gets the Korn gig. He gets sober.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So Wes replaced Brian Head Welch.
Yeah.
Who did the foreword to our book, to our Rock to Recovery book.
Oh, nice.
By Wes Geer and Dr. Constance Scharf, PhD. And so Wes and I stayed in touch, and we had this. They went on this tour, bro. This is so rad. I have to tell this part of the story because it's so fun. Wes was in Korn. Clint Lowry was in Seven Dust. Jeff Fab, who is a good friend of mine, who hopefully won't mind that I'm calling him out as sober. He just celebrated 10 years on 2 days ago. They were on a tour, I think in 2011, late 2011, and Tommy Vexed he hit bottom on my floor in Venice.
Really?
I got some stories about Tommy Vexed.
I just sent him an email the other day actually about coming on the show, and so I'll have to connect with you maybe later on that. He'd be interesting to talk to too. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, Tommy hit bottom on my floor, as you can imagine. Big boy getting sober in the house. Yeah. Me and my second ex-wife, God bless her. Man, God bless her.
Funny. Yeah.
Colleen, God bless you. So they were on this tour and they would do meetings on occasion. These 4 dudes. And they called it the SFG, which stood for St. Francis Group, because they would read the St. Francis prayer at the beginning or the end or something.
Yeah.
I got to join them a couple times by phone, right?
Yeah.
It was great. And then when they were done with it, Disturbed was on the tour too, I think. I think that was the tour. Anyway, yeah, Korn, Disturbed, Seven Dust in this moment. So, how's that sound? Is it okay?
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit, but it's all good.
Okay, good.
We're good.
All right, I'll just go in here.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, God bless the gardener.
That's right.
So, he's doing his job.
That's right.
Life's happening. So, they went on their way, and then 2012, I was on tour in Europe with Ugly Kid Joe and Lamb of God. We were on a bunch of festivals together.
Yeah.
The homies from Richmond, Virginia.
Nice.
Lamb of God.
Love it.
What'd you say?
I love it.
Yeah. So Randy, he said it in his book. He's sober, and he had been sober for a minute at the time. And we would have meetings on our tour buses, dude, or in dressing rooms, and we'd at the Download Festival, we had a meeting in his dressing room.
Oh wow!
At this one called Ear Shaker Days in Zurich, Switzerland, we had it on my tour bus. Ugly Kid Joe in the back lounge. I'm like, hey fellas, can I? And they're like, hell yeah, dude, do that. And then the next day, Randy flew to Prague and was arrested for manslaughter.
Damn, really?
You are listening right now. You might want to fast forward 15 seconds. She's such a good girl. She doesn't want to kill him right now.
Yeah, she's looking at him.
About to blow the lead out.
Yeah.
Huh?
She's looking at him though, huh? She's watching.
Shh. I've trained her, bro. She's so good. Good girl. Good girl, Gaga. Just for you listeners at home, if you're still listening. My sweet dog wants to kill the gardener right outside the window.
She does too. She's watching him like a hawk.
Dude, she used to bark like she. Yeah. I'm all shh.
She's being good. She's just chilling. Oh wow. That just got really loud. We're living life though, Sonny. I mean, what do hey, we're just doing the thing, man.
Yeah.
There he's
All right, so he's going next door. We'll be a little more, but we'll be okay. So Randy's arrested for manslaughter.
Damn.
For do you know about this about Randy Bly?
I don't. I haven't heard this.
E. Randall Bly of Lamb of God. Check 1 2.
Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little ear noise cancellation here too for me.
There you go. Okay.
So there was I'm sorry, I'm going off on this. You're in it with me. They were in Prague like a few years before, and the security was just the promoter didn't provide the right security. There were people running on stage. Yeah. He's like fighting people off on stage.
Oh wow!
Pushing people because they're grabbing him on stage. There's no security.
Yeah.
Years ago, and then he was pushing people, get off me, and then somebody fell, hit their head, and died 2 weeks later.
Oh damn! Wow.
The Czech Republic authorities blamed it on D. Randall Bly, and they arrested him at the airport on his way in to play a show there. So that dude, so he wrote a book called Dark Days, I think it is. D. Randall Bly, lead singer, Lamb of God, where he talks about all this. And so is that better?
A little better.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I just turned, my voice is quieter too. Yeah, there.
Yeah.
So we started. It was actually Tommy's idea to get the guys of the SFG to do a gratitude list, an email gratitude chain. Are you on any of those?
I don't think so.
All right, it's a thing people do. Like I'm on actually 3 of them, where a group of people.
It's a good idea.
Guys, for me it's usually guys, right? We'll just have a chain of gratitude, so email thread,
nice.
And you just each day or whenever you do 10 things you're grateful for, and shoot it off 10. So we did this, and we included Randy, and so we were like, yo, we don't got to go on social media and be like, we're free Randy Bly, this is bullshit. We didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
That's not how we want to roll. So we did this. And he got out of jail a few months later, or got out of prison, a Czech Republic prison. Stayed sober while he was in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think it's called Darkest Days. I can't remember. Sorry, Randy.
The book. Yeah.
And he got out and he's like, what the hell? What is all this? And we're like, yeah, bro. We told him what it is. And that's still going.
Really?
There's a crew of us. Yeah.
That's
St.
cool.
Francis group. I have a tattoo on the back of my left leg, SFG.
St. Francis
right
prayer
leg.
is great too. Yeah, right leg. I said the St. Francis prayer is great too. That was that they had that in the little chapel area when I was in treatment, and so that was one of the daily prayers that we would read, that I would read and go to. I love that one. One of my favorites.
Totally. We refer to it sometimes as the 11-step prayer, right?
Yes.
It's in a book called The 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. We call it the 12 and 12, y'all.
Yep.
Page 99. And I look at it like a formula, man. It's like God.
Yeah.
I'm like going into the 3rd step prayer. Where there's hatred, let me bring love.
Yep.
Where there's wrong, spirit of forgiveness. Discord, harmony. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Despair, hope.
Yep.
Doubt, faith. Yep. Sadness, joy. Shadows, light. Right? Which you can't have shadow without light. So.
Yep.
All right. And then it's like, let me love rather than to be loved. Forgive rather than be forgiven. Let me die and be awakened to eternal life. And to me, dying is like right now, like die now to this moment and be like, yeah,
that's good.
Open up, right? I love it. So it's like a formula, man. It's such a balance, right? And also within myself, I try to do that too. Instead of just in the world where I see hatred, let me bring love. Yeah, well, where it is in me, let me bring love too. Because God, I hate myself sometimes. So back to St. Francis group. So that kept going. So Wes and I were even more in contact. He's still playing Korn. He gets fired from Korn because Brian comes back.
Yeah.
And Wes in 2012 goes, hey man, maybe early 13. He goes, hey dude, I started this nonprofit called Rock to Recovery. And I was all, mm-hmm. And remember this, early 13, bro. My dog has cancer. I'm in Colorado with my dad who's dying of cancer. It's gonna die of cancer. And Wes goes, Rock to Recovery. And I go, he tells me about it. And I go, I want in.
Yeah.
Oh, I want in. And he goes, man, I'm getting it started. He hadn't even launched yet. He hadn't even done his first group yet.
Yeah.
Rock to Recovery was formed by Wes Gear on 12-12-12, which for us in the 12-step programs, that's so rad.
Yeah.
December 12th, 2012.
Yep.
I mean, come on, bro. And he was so, I think he was so divinely inspired, that he woke up on 12-12-12 and was like, oh, I got to do it today. That's how my dude did it, bro. He
cool.
was like, I gotta, that's how, I mean, I'm like, Wes, you're amazing. So he did that. And when he told me, I was like, oh, I want in.
Yeah.
I'm like, and we'll go back to Christopher Walken again. It was like King of New York, where he goes, a nickel bag gets sold in the park. I want in. Do you know that part, Frank White? You know
I don't remember it, but you just did it. Those were very good impersonations, Sonny. I like that. Good job.
Thanks, Frank White.
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls said, "The black Frank White is here to excite." And then he goes, "Throw dick to dykes, bitches. I like 'em brainless, guns. I like 'em stainless steel. I want the fucking fortune like the wheel." Look at that, St. Francis prayer to Biggie Smalls.
Amazing, bro. Amazing. Love it.
I love my life. I love my life, especially at this moment.
Hell
so.
Yeah.
I want in, right? So Wes starts in 2013. What he did is he started it. The concept was to go into VAs to work with veterans. Specifically, he was aiming at veterans. And then he was like, wait a minute. When I was in rehab and I would break out the guitar, everybody would be like, yeah, man, make up some country song. They just make up songs on the spot. Because similarly, I used to know all these cover songs, and I don't really remember all these songs anymore. Like, I can play Creeping Death for you, or I can play, like, Knocking on Heaven's Door, but I don't have a catalog of, like, can you play, I can play, like, Rain When I Die, or, like, some Alice in Chains, Down in a Hole, right? But I don't have a catalog of these. So he's like, I'm going to write songs with people in rehabs and situations like that, and original songs with people who aren't musicians. That was his idea. Not music therapist, but it is a therapeutic musical intervention.
Totally.
Yeah. And we're also not music therapists, so we have to say that we're not musical therapists because we get in trouble.
Yeah.
Though most of us, including myself, well, I will be a certified alcohol and drug counselor soon.
Nice.
A lot of us are already.
Yeah.
So I started going down and training with him and helping him develop the program, actually, of Rock to Recovery. And developed, and he was so rad. He's like, man, I can't pay you, but I'll buy you lunch. Because I'm driving down to Orange County from Culver City, 60 miles at 8 a.m., 7 a.m. I'm driving down there. And so we developed this thing, and then I launched in LA in May of 2013. 14, sorry, it was 14. He launched in 13. And this was the beginning, bro. That period of beginning of 13 to the middle of 14 was like this gnarly tsunami destructive thing, and then the sea started to settle, and I had some purpose.
Wow. And
that thing where I was kind of like starting to like not necessarily want to tour anymore. I love the guys on Ugly Kid Joe. Maybe next time if I come on again, we can do all this other stuff. Yeah. But Whit Crane, one of my best friends in the world, toured the world with him. He was sober by choice, so he's not an alcoholic. Sometimes he's like, can I be in the club? And I'm all, no, because you're not planning your next drink.
Yeah. It's a little
you're like, he's like, I'm going to be sober for a while and see what happens. And he wasn't struggling. He was like, huh.
Yeah.
He was like testing. He was like, let's see. And he's like, shit, I can't be in the club. I'm like, nah, dude. And then he went back and was like, I'm gonna drink beers and smoke cigarettes, and I don't know, might do cocaine on occasion. but it's like he is like whenever.
Totally different.
And he goes through phases. Yeah. So I'm not like that. So I was ready for that, dude, and I had some purpose. And so we grew from Wes in like garages connected to houses in rehab that are rehabs in Orange County, to me adding LA, to another guy, Nate Lawler, adding in Orange County, to Brandon Jordan adding in LA, to Clinton Calton in Orange County, and we started growing, man. And now since it's been we're in our 9th year, 2000 at the end of this year, 12/12/21, 9 years.
Yeah.
We are 15 people now. We just hired our first female program administrator.
Nice.
I'm over the moon, bro.
Yeah.
Because I tried. I had a few females that I was like, yeah, because we, right now, or until 2 weeks ago, it was a bunch of pushing middle-aged white dudes.
Yeah.
Most of us have gray in our beards.
Yeah.
So we're 15 of us, bro. There's a bunch of us in Orange County, San Diego, LA, 2 people in Northern California, including Sabrina, our new program administrator, and Brian Burke, Jeremy Gray in Portland, Oregon, Phil Bogart in Nashville, Tennessee.
I've met Phil actually.
Right.
Phil,
and so
yeah. Phil, because I did some work with Americana Fest was it last year or 2 years ago out in Nashville, and it ended up that COVID hit and stuff and all this crazy stuff, so we ended up doing it virtually. But I worked with Phil on a couple projects. Great dude, man. We got to spend a little time together, but yeah, solid.
Bro, his thing. Say.
Yeah.
Hey. Say. Yeah. I love that dude. Yeah. I got to train that guy in Malibu. We went to Malibu and I got to train him. What a fantastic human being.
Oh yeah, we were on we did a sober panel because when they did Americana Fest, one of the issues that they had at the time was there was all these like musicians and there was no there wasn't any meetings going on. So they reached out to the company who had sponsored our sponsored Sober Guy at the time, Promises, and then through that. Promises Behavioral Health, and like they had hooked up with Phil, and then we ended up doing this really cool sober panel discussion, dude, with Jane. I can't remember her name, Jamie. She was an artist out there. It was really fun, man. Lot of fun, dude. Rock to Recovery was represented obviously from Phil's perspective, and yeah, it was neat, dude. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to get us off track there. That was fun. Good times.
We still talking about it, baby.
Yeah.
We're still talking about Rock to Recovery and the thing.
Oh yeah.
So now we. I don't even know how many, dude. We are a for-profit and a non-profit. So on a for-profit side, we charge places.
Yeah.
We're program administrators, and we do everything from the damn highfalutin places in Malibu and all that to some pretty low-end places. And then on the non-profit side, bro, we connected in 2014 or 15. I mean, it's a long time. We connected with the Air Force Wounded Warriors. Now, when I say Wounded Warriors, I am not referring to the Wounded Warrior Project. That is another non-profit. Doing good work.
Yep.
This is the Air Force Wounded Warriors through the Air Force. We have a contract with the Defense Department of the United States of America.
Damn, I didn't know that. I knew you guys did work with them. I didn't know it was a specific contract with DOD.
Yes, through the DOD, we have a contract with the Air Force, and they have flown us around the world to do this work with the wounded veterans of the Air Force and their caregivers. And their kids too, bro. I got to do in 2019, I think it was the second to last in person. They flew us to Ramstein, Germany,
yeah.
to Ramstein Air Base outside of Kaiserslautern, which you go through Frankfurt, blah, blah, blah. But I got to do this work, dude. So Wes was doing it with leading a retreat in Costa Rica. So I went in 2 days early, a day and a half early, whatever, set it up. And then I got to do the first day of groups solo, and they were like, hey, we want to do it with the kids, and I was all, okay, dude, this is my favorite work I've ever done, Shane.
Yeah,
this is my favorite work I've ever done. I got to do a group with 2 sets of kids, 10 kids and 10 kids, and that's a lot. 10 who were like mid-teens, like 13 to 18, and are teenagers, and then the other group were a lot of their siblings that were like 6 to 12. And I got to do Rock to Recovery with them, and I got to write an original song. What we did was the teens and I wrote a song similar like an Imagine Dragons kind of song with imagine like a We Will Rock You kind of and it was called I'll Still Be Me. And the story was, the lyrics were, no matter what happens in my life as I go forward, whatever goes on, I'll still be me. Right, and this music sets me free, and I'll be right where I want to be. All this beautiful stuff that teenagers wrote, and there was singing, and there was rapping, and so the teenagers and I wrote the music, and we had the first verse, 2 verses, and a chorus, and then the little kids came in, and I was like, I'm just going to teach them the same song. I'm not going to try to hey, let's write something. I'm going to teach it to them.
Yeah.
And dude, I was only supposed to do, I think a day with them or 2 maybe.
Yeah.
But it ended up being like every day that we were there until the closing ceremonies, where we weren't even supposed to do this. We performed that song at the closing ceremony in front of all the families and all the people on the base who could fit in the club.
Oh, wow.
Generals and commanders and Air Force commanders, bro. Generals are like, hey man, can I get a picture with you? I'm like, yeah, sure. You got to hold this guitar though. Here, put this on. Right? Yes, sir. Put this on, please, General. They're like, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And so, bro, I wrote this song with these kids, and they wanted, like, the next day, they were like, can we do another group with Mr. Sonny?
Oh, wow.
Bro, Come on, man. And that's not like, hey, let's get sober, kids.
Yeah.
Let's recover. Yeah. Let's rejoice.
Yeah, that's good.
Music, soul, man.
Yep.
Right. And so there's that. So we get to do all these wonderful things around the world. And then when COVID hit, because I have the coronary artery disease that we talked about 2.5 hours ago, 2 hours ago. Because of that, dude, I was grounded. Couldn't go anywhere, right? Yeah. So I am still mostly virtual, especially now. Man, I got vaccinated and all this stuff too, and I'll try to be sensible. But like I really do need to be careful because it could be a problem. Even if I am vaccinated, I know it can be a problem. So I'm still virtual. And now we do some virtual events with the Air Force too. And I have a relatively full schedule, thankfully. And I can do Rock to Recovery. It's a different animal on here. It's more about digital production and lyric writing, and producing a song, making a beat together. Kids love making beats.
Oh, dude. My son's 7, and he's already got him on some different little instruments and stuff too. But even just on GarageBand, he'll sit on my Mac. Dad, can I make a beat? And so I'll let him sit on there and make some. He freaking loves it, man. Kids love that. So he's got a little beat machine, a little Akai, and he'll just sit on there and make beats, dude. It's so cool, so fun to watch too.
Oh, makes me so happy, dude. Yeah. And there's the trick that we have in Rock to Recovery. The trick, which is just the truth, is that we all have it in us, bro. So we get some people in Rock to Recovery groups, doesn't matter who, what gender, what age, whatever, that go, oh, I don't have a musical bone in my body. I couldn't see my way out of a paper bag. And we usually go, who told you that? Oh, when I was 9 years old, my dad told me, how could you tell a 9-year-old that they don't have a musical bone in their body?
Damn. Yeah.
And I go, what a terrible thing for them to say to you. I'm like, well, can we just play music? And that's what I do. I brought this thing to Rock to Recovery where we say you're rad, and it just came naturally because I like to use that word. It's my second favorite word. My first favorite word is yes. Second one is rad.
Love that movie, by the way, too. Rad, one of the best movies of all time.
With the exclamation point, Christian Slater, yeah?
No, not Christian.
Oh, that was Gleaming the Cube.
Gleaming the Cube, that's like my second favorite. Actually, that might be right up there, dude. Christian Slater in a skate movie, dude, in like the late 80s, early 90s. Incredible. Rad was, I'm totally drawing a blank on his name now. They just did a really cool like premiere. They re-showed it out in LA just recently. Anyways, Man,
I wish I was there for that.
Yeah, it was just like a month ago. My buddy said, he's like, you got to go see this. But yeah. Anyways, Rad and Rock to Recovery. You said second favorite word.
First favorite word. One day it was Bart Connor, Lori Laughlin, Bill Allen. I just looked up Rad on IMDb.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know who any of they are, but it's Rad.
Best.
With an exclamation point. So one day we were, again, back when I was helping Wes develop just shadowing him really, and he was, masterminding it, and I was like, oh, how about, let's do this, and I was helping out and learning, and then we were doing a check-in at the beginning like we do. We'll do a check-in with everybody, because it's a group.
Yeah.
It's it's not a process group, but it's a group, experiential. And so, that we started off, it's usually like, hey, say your name, if you identify as addict or alcoholic, do that. If you're counting days, what do you got? 12 days, and we give them shakers and shit, and make noise, hooray. And then 2 things you're grateful for, and then if your mood was a genre of music, what genre is it, right? If you wanted to play any musical instrument in your life, what would it be? And then when they're done sharing, before the next person shares, we all go, hey, guess what? You're rad. And everyone's like, yeah. And at first people were like, really, dude? And we're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden they're like, you're rad. And then they're like, you're rad. And then they're all, you're rad. Like, they love it, dude.
I love it.
You're rad. So, back to the groups, man, I trick people kind of by going, hey, look, the word play, like people play music, right? So Jimi Hendrix played the guitar. Tom Brady plays football.
Yeah.
Paganini played the violin. It's play. What does that word mean? And I used to ask Siri in front of people. I go, hey, because I don't want to say it because she will answer me. What does play mean? And she would define it. And she goes, play means to engage in an activity for recreation or enjoyment rather than a practical or serious purpose.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're going to play. Like if when we were kids, you go, hey, want to go outside and play? Dude. Yes is the answer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the best. Hey, can Josh play? Hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. And it wasn't like, oh, I don't know how to.
No, you just went and played.
Yeah.
Had fun.
And there was, And it wasn't a free-for-all. It was like, okay, what we're going to do, we're going to obstacle course. Okay, we're going to run across here, jump across the thing, right? So we play.
Yeah.
These are the rules. I had my force shield on when you tagged me. No, you didn't, right? Force field, right? No, you didn't have a force field.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We're playing. And so that's what I said we're going to play, but we're going to play with music. If we had a ball, we could play with it. Kick it, hit it with our head, throw it. We're going to play with guitars and a keyboard and words and melodies. And then we end up playing. And, dude, there's magic, bro. So we have a SoundCloud page. So what we do is we go in, we have a little bit of a check-in, and then we develop a song together. We have people play the keyboard. We write on the keys. I'm telling the secrets, but we write on the keys with dry erase. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, different colors for verse and chorus. Verse is red, chorus is blue. And then you can switch 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a drum machine, or I use like a website called Soundtrap. Yeah. But we play, and then we write a song. And dude, we have over 20,000 songs on our SoundCloud page because we record the song.
Yeah. Wow.
And we put it on SoundCloud. 20,000 songs. It's more than that now.
So then that way, though, anyone who participated, they can go on and they can hear their own song on SoundCloud and they can share it with their friends, their family, whatever, right? That's freaking amazing, dude.
Exactly.
You know what else, dude? I just want to point this out real quick because this is one of the things I love, and I continue to preach this, and I'll continue to do so, and I try to act on it the best I can in my own recovery and just living life too, is that we were talking about play. And dude, there's something about finding that childlike spirit in us again, because when we become adults, at least for me, there's a lot of things. Number one is dudes, we hate sucking at things, number one. So we start getting older and we don't want to try new things because I'm good at this and that, and that's all I'm going to do. I don't want to try new shit because I don't want to suck at it. And so we lose like that childlike experience of when we were kids. We were so free. We get responsible. We got bills and this and that. And life just kind of like sucks you in, dude. And then before you know it, you're just lost and maybe addicted, or there's all kinds of things going on. We go back to finding something that we truly enjoy to do as a kid. And then it unlocks this whole new experience. And even if we suck at it for a while, who cares, man? Let's just play. Let's just play. Let's just have fun, So I freaking love that, dude. You're unlocking something in people that has been bottled up and maybe they haven't been to access since they were kids, maybe, It's really, really cool, dude. Love it.
Yeah, and especially people, exactly. Oh, that's beautiful. You get it. Yeah. You get it. And that's exactly what happens. And then people who are like, no, I thought I didn't have a musical bone in my body. So all of a sudden they're singing in key words that they wrote that are rad. Yeah. Or fun or funny or stupid, whatever. Because we get the greatest array of topics from like, I don't know, dead worms to I lost my child when I was on heroin and I am trying to get them, or my dad died, whatever. Or my friend OD'd, like,
screw you, Dad. I didn't have a musical bone in my body. It's like singing. It's like a total hardcore song, dude.
Dude, I wrote a song years ago with these kids, literally teenagers, called FEAR. Okay, and I'll tell you what it means, but they came in one night and they were all, hey, Sonny, we want to do a Screamo song. And you know what I did? I kind of went hardcore. I went like that positive hardcore, and I was like, okay. So if we're going to write it, I'll give it to you, but you got to come up with some lyrics that are like positive, like crushing the fear and all this thing. Right. And so the FEAR, instead of like, false evidence appearing real, or even like face everything and recover, it was, these kids were screaming, all girls too. Oh shit. Fuck everything and rise.
I love it.
Dude, it was like, fuck everything and rise. Fuck everything. And they were screaming into this mic, dude, all of them. I think there was 4 of them, 3 of them on the mic, 1 of them on the keyboard playing bass, and I was playing guitar. And it was like, I mean, just like, heavy, and they're screaming. Fun. And I called, and I like made sure I texted the therapist. I'm like, hell yeah, is that cool? And they're all, Sonny, get it out of them.
Please get it out of them now.
So I'm not glorifying drugs or hurting people or misogyny or whatever, abuse of any kind. Let it out, y'all. Thank you. Let's go. So, those are the things we get to tap into, man. Awesome. And so we also have an annual event. We haven't had it obviously since 2019 because of the world. But so for 4 years running, we did, and we're scheduled for next July, July 7 of 21, to do this Rock to Recovery event. We always do it at the Fonda Theater. You got to come next year, brother.
Oh yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome.
And maybe that Sober Guy podcast could be a sponsor of Rock to Recovery 5.
That'd be awesome.
So,
love it.
Let's talk about it. Yeah. So we hold a show, man, at the Fonda, and most of the people that are in the crowd are actually either in treatment, like in residential treatments from all these great places like Cliffside, Malibu, it used to be called the Foundations, the Canyon, all these places. Visions Teen, they bring all their kids and they spawn. Resolutions Teen. It was, and then so it's a bunch of people, a bunch of like newly sober people. Claire Foundation, which is one of our nonprofit places where we've been donating for them for 5 years, and or more now, 6 years. So this is and then we have rock stars, and we do a couple of awards. You may have seen this. I don't know if you did or not, but we honor people each year for like the service award and for the icon award. So we've had everyone. Mike Ness was the first guy.
Oh, nice, dude.
Yeah. Then we had Corey Taylor and Wayne from Slipknot and Stone Sour and so many other things. Yeah. And Wayne Kramer from the MC5. He has a thing called Jail Guitar Doors, similar to what we do but in jails.
Oh, nice.
And then we had like Moby and Tommy Vext, and then we had John Feldman and Katie Seagal last time.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then they performed too. I got the jam with Moby, dude. It was so rad.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, this DJ guy, he loves playing guitar, man. He loves it.
That's cool. Some Mike Ness too. I love some Social Distortion and some of his solo stuff too. I think I have one of the record. He did a couple of solo albums. But that he called it out. He was like, if I didn't get sober, there'd be no Social Distortion. Really? Oh wow.
He called it out on that in his acceptance speech.
Yeah.
We had this janky little trophy that we gave him too. And the second that we saw it, we were like, oh my God, we have to step it up a year too. He probably was like, like number one dad, but it was like,
that's hella funny. Oh man. You guys still work with foundations, by the way?
We don't.
That's where I initially met Wes in person, because Foundations was they did a lot of reorganizing like a lot of big companies did, and so they were no longer a sponsor of ours, but they sponsored us that was like my first kind of was going where I got into doing conferences and like live podcasting at all these big health and conferences, behavioral health down in San Diego, and went to Nashville, and so it was such a good time. That's actually where I met Wes, in San Diego at one point, and it's been cool to watch Rock to Recovery too. Just over the years, you're almost at that 10-year mark too coming up, which is amazing. Like there's something about the 10-year mark from what I've heard. I think it was Chris Bella had on the podcast. He did Bigger, Faster, Stronger and Leaf of Faith. His brother was a pro wrestler, and so they've been on Rogan a couple of times. But he was talking about how when you start something, one of the hardest things is consistency and sticking with it, because most great ideas in businesses, they can't outlast that time. And he said there's a 10-year mark where you get to the 10-year mark. I think he's talking about, his dad was telling him this, and he can explain it much better than I can. But it just made me think of that. When you hold on and you continue to put the work in, and you show up every day, and you do good work, and if you make it to that point, there's like a new experience that comes on after the 10. Who knows? I don't know. I think it was something cool to think about though. And he had some examples and stuff that follow that, but you guys are coming up on that, man, just doing amazing work, continuing to grow. And it's really, really cool to see. And if Sober Guy can ever be a part of that, absolutely, man, I would jump at the awesome opportunity for that. So
please.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. We have plenty of sponsorship opportunities.
Yes, that's
available.
amazing.
Yeah. In fact, some of that stuff that you're talking about right there.
Yeah.
Is so on point, because we've been doing this for quite some time. We've only had 4 events, with the exception of the last. This would be Rock to Recovery 6 if COVID, whatever. But so it's just been a few years, but we've been digging in for a long time, man. And as band guys, we haven't been able to like procure those kind of sponsorships from like different like string companies like bands can do. Like they're like, yeah. So there's like a little bit here. They're like, here's like a janky guitar, Fender, thanks, and great. Okay, so maybe we're starting something. Yeah. But I have a bro who owns a company called Signature Tracks, and he's amazing. And Signature Tracks is it's a sync house, they provide music for just about every show, just about every hip show that you're watching right now. My man Russell Howard from Signature Tracks and his crew is doing the music. Wow. Well, I was talking to him and he's like, yeah, man, let's talk about me sponsoring. I was like, oh, yeah. And then he goes, I want to try to bring in ASCAP, which if you don't know what ASCAP is, it's the American Society of Composers and Publishers. That's a royalty society. They collect royalties from album sales, all these other things. The ways that people make money off of writing and putting music out, these guys collect it and give it to us. I don't know why they're the middleman, but there they are. Tin Pan Alley, that's where it started. I'll tell you that story later. But he talked to Paul Williams, the president of ASCAP, and he told me on Monday, he's like, hey man, we want to come in as a co-sponsor for Rock to Recovery 5. And I was all, and when I told Wes was like, dude, first of all, he's like, thank you, bro. Cause I brought it into the tape on the table. And he's like, yeah, bro, to have ASCAP like on our step and repeat, that's like that. And man, this is service, man. Like we provide so much free Rock to Recovery to a bunch of places. It's a place in Northern California called Magnolia Women's Recovery. Mothers who are getting off, and they have their kids, and I'm doing virtual sessions with them, 2 different places on Zoom, and their kids, and we're writing songs together, man. Oh my God, Tuesday, I wrote this song with them. It was like a bluesy kind of ripped off Gary Clark Jr. I don't know if you know who that is.
Oh yeah, I love him. He's dope. Yeah.
I can't remember what song it is, but I totally ripped off this riff of his and played it on acoustic. So, but it's not
Sorry,
whatever.
Gary.
And they were writing this bluesy, beautiful, and there's a lot of ethnicity in there, and they're like, and so these 2 women at 2 different houses on Zoom, were singing these beautiful melodies about, I miss my kids, and I'm gonna do what's right, and I'm gonna get them back, and that shit'll be tight, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was beautiful, bro.
Yeah.
And that song is on SoundCloud too.
Where do people go if they want to hear any of those songs? Where do they go? Where can they go to?
SoundCloud.com/Rock to Recovery.
Oh, okay. That's easy enough.
Yeah.
I'll put that in the show notes too with the links in there.
Yeah, SoundCloud.com/Rock to Recovery. We also have our website, obviously rocktorecovery.org, because we are a nonprofit. And so, we have donations. Oh, we didn't talk about breath work, bro.
Oh, I know. We didn't. You do a breathwork class on what, Saturday?
Saturday mornings, yes. So when COVID hit, I had just started I held my first in-person breathwork group the week before the lockdown.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because I just got certified, just got trained up, and I was starting to, ready to do the things. Yeah. I'd done some privates, and I was ready to do. And so then we went virtual, and Wes had the idea, man. He's like, yo, let's do a weekly group. And myself and I had a partner for a while, because we started on Saturdays, and it was doing so well. And it's donation based. We asked $15, but please come if you can. We just want people to experience healing. Yeah. It's provided by Rock to Recovery. I still get paid.
There it is.
So you're not taking money out of you're giving me money. Yeah. And even if you don't have any to give. Thank you, Wes. Thanks, Rock to Recovery. And so we launched it in April of 20. Me and my partner, Elsa Karinke, my breathwork colleague, we started doing 2 days a week, Tuesday and Saturday, and we rotate. And then once things started going back to, normal, whatever that is, we whittled it to Saturday, and only I do it now.
Got it.
She'll sit in on occasion. But breathwork, if people don't know what it is, it's an active meditation. You've done breathwork, Shane?
I haven't done any breathwork, no. Heard a little bit about it, haven't practiced it yet. Probably should check it out. Sounds interesting.
It's something, bro. It's kind of in between mindfulness and yoga.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like the CrossFit of mindfulness.
Yes.
So the concept is ancient. Mm-hmm. First of all, nobody invented it, especially like some Southern California, fucking spiritual, so spiritual. Yeah. We are just people who want healing, and sometimes mindfulness meditation doesn't work for people.
Yeah.
Trauma. I can't sit. You're talking about I can't sit.
That's how I am. Yeah. I struggle with that.
Yeah. Try this. We do this thing. You lie on your back. It's a 2-stage inhale and an exhale, all in and out of the mouth. So what happens is you're lying on your back. Call it Shavasana if you know yoga. Just you're lying on your back, corpse pose, we call it. And you just lie on your back. Yoga mat if you need to support your knees, your lower back, you can put some support there. Not too much of a slant to your head. because you want to have the spine and the trachea straight, right?
Okay.
And so it's a 2-stage breath. So we're breathing into our belly, which is, call it lower lungs, whatever. But we're kind of bringing in energy, driving energy and oxygen and prana, whatever you want to call it, into the lower belly.
Oh, wow.
Aiming for that 4 finger widths below your navel.
Okay.
Breathe into the belly. And so they take this breath, and it's funny. It's like, I guess it's like a half breath and a half breath because it's 2 inhales. So you go in the belly, and then you go up into the chest, and you exhale. So it looks and sounds like this. That's belly, chest, exhale, all in and out of the mouth, and you get a rhythm going. Yeah, and so I can give you some details and help you out, but we would be on our backs, right? I just started to get a little bit of reaction already. Like I started to feel a little lightheaded. I was like, yeah. And I did breath work this morning for 30 minutes, like my own practice. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that started feeling good. So, man, for people who like to get high,
you can naturally. It's almost like a natural high.
Dude, and it's different than exercise. It's like exercise.
Yeah, those endorphins hitting the brain, like just getting,
Dude, hitting the hypothalamus. Yeah. All the things, bro, the pineal gland, bro. You're knocking some stuff out the park. And it is an exercise. We call it an active meditation because we're not trying to calm ourselves. We're trying to activate the body, mind, spirit, or ultimately spirit, mind, body.
Do you always do it laying down? Is that the main way you do it, or can you do it? You can do it however is comfortable to you to some extent, as long as
you don't have to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, you don't have to do it lying down. You can close your eyes if you want. You can put a eye pillow over. You don't have to. Sometimes people. So what happens is we're starting to bring in all this oxygen into the body, right? Energy, not just into the lungs, right? But bringing it into the body and like purposefully breathing with intention, right? Yeah. And some of the benefits that are pointed out are that we start to discover in our bodies blocked or stored or stuck energy, trauma, injury, surgery, grief, all the things, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, we find them in different places. I know exactly where mine are, and they're still there, but I breathe through them, right?
Okay.
Mine's in my lower belly, go figure, second chakra, if you will, and then behind my heart, which I have a heart issue, so right, go figure. Wow.
Yeah.
And so I breathe into these things, right? And what it can do is it can help you, first of all, get in touch with it, experience it, feel it, like we were talking about, feel the pain, and breathe through it with an air of safety, like, especially in person. I'm with you, or someone's with you, but virtually also, like, I am with you, I am witnessing you. There's something about being witnessed. You probably know you ever heard of the double slit experiment?
Not ringing a bell.
Okay, it's quantum physics, and so they would shoot electrons at this wall or whatever that had 2 slits in it.
Okay.
And if they weren't observing it, the electrons would hit the wall behind it in like these random ways. Like you'd be like, beep, beep, beep. Like if no one was watching. Literally, it was to see if energy reacted differently when observed or not.
Oh wow.
So when they would take and then when they were observing it, filming it, they would start to take certain shapes. They would be like, it would be actually organized. It's bizarre. So there's a witnessing factor.
Yeah.
That comes into play. I mean, this is amazing, man. Where 2 or more are gathered, bro.
Yep. 100 on that.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. We're witnessing each other. I feel seen.
Yeah. That's funny.
I see you.
People do want to be seen too. They want to be seen and acknowledged, I think. Man, yeah, it's just funny. Like, you just made me think of this, even in that want to be seen. Sometimes maybe we'll see somebody who's on the street, maybe holding a sign, maybe they need a little money, maybe they need something to eat, whatever. A lot of the time what they need is just, hey, how you doing, man? How's your day going? What's your name, man? I'm Shane. Good to meet you, man. Like they need that human connection, because back to what we spoke of earlier, we're all human beings. When we can feel that, man, yeah, the money, the food, whatever, that's great. But man, just like, let me be seen. Let me know I exist. Something in the heart right there, man, is killer when we don't feel that. That's good, dude. I'm glad you brought that up. That's cool.
Yeah, man. And even as the witness as well, bro.
Yeah.
As the one seeing, Like, even if like, hey man, how you doing? I got $20 or yeah, I got 20 cents, you know, I don't, bro. Hope you have a good day. Like, still be rad.
Yeah.
And even if, right, maybe, you know, there's some kind of effect happening there.
Totally.
Hey,
totally.
man, hope you're good.
Yeah.
And then some people, I've done that. I do that often. That's one of my, I like to do that.
Yeah.
Specifically, exactly what you said. Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Or hey, whoever it is. Hey. And they go, oh, hi.
Yeah.
Hope you're having a good day. And just keep walking. They're like, yeah, you too.
Yeah. Just a way.
Because everyone else is walking.
Yeah. Well, like I was pulling out of, and normally I would, so I'm like big on this too. I never talk about this stuff like trying to gain accolades from it either. So I just got to feel like I want to say that just because it's not in me. It's not biblical too. Like I don't believe in that crap, but we're on the conversation. It is relative to the topic. Like I was pulling out, went to the old Target the other day, right? The best store ever for the family, right? Got to pick up a couple things, you know, whatever. So I go in, get my stuff. I've been to the same one a couple of times. There's a lady that sits out there. I've seen her before. She's in the middle of the thing, sign, you know, asking for some help, whatever. And just the, you know, and just pulling out of that and just waving and a smile, you know, just acknowledgement. And she waved back and just smiled, you know what I mean? And like that, I could see all of the other stuff didn't really mean much, just the smile, you know what I mean? To her, I could feel it. You could feel that energy, that connection right there. And that is the cool. Yeah, that's it, man. Just like, hey, how you doing? I'm a human. You're a human. Two different experiences going on. You know, but that's it. Just, I don't know. There's something about that, dude. And I think, my point to that is that, the majority of time, a lot of people, and I'd be a liar if I said I'm not guilty of this myself because I have been before. We just drive right by. We don't make eye contact. We don't make any, because we don't want to be either bothered with it or we don't want to acknowledge it, maybe because it's uncomfortable or because we feel guilty or bad, whatever the feelings are. But man, it doesn't have to be like that. Maybe it's just a simple hello. You know what I mean? I hope I don't sound like I'm on a soapbox right now, but it's something that I try to get better at. You know what I mean? Try to get better at that for sure. My phone is just going off the hook right now. Sorry, man. I don't know if you heard that or whatever.
I don't hear it. Yeah, I will admit this. I am mostly the guy who says hi, but then that's some of the like off ramps, the guy with the sign or whatever. Like I'll try to say, I'll actually, I'm admitting this because I'm rad and I'm also bunk.
Totally,
we did talk about this earlier.
Yeah.
To reference Whit Crane, you're rad and bunk, but he'd say that he literally goes, I'm pretty rad and bunk a lot, you know.
Sometimes too.
And so I'll actually position my car so that the thing with the door right there is like, so they can't see my eyes. I do it, man. And then I also say hi.
I'm only dying because same. Shitty too sometimes.
Human.
Yeah, human. And it's funny, we have this thing, there's a guy that we see down here in Huntington sometimes, and I crack up. His sign just said, what does it say? It's hilarious. It says, I just need a piece of pizza and a beer and maybe a cigarette. I'm just like, yes, I love your honesty, bro. I can't remember his name. We've seen him down there a couple times, but yeah, just fucking honest. Like, that's all I want, man. But
that's the evolution of why lie. I need a beer.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It's another level of that. Absolutely.
Yeah. A slice of pizza and a beer. Yeah. Maybe just a cigarette.
Maybe a cigarette. Whatever you can spare.
Just letting you. If there's a thing like that's on this list that you could provide, I'll take it. Yeah, it's fantastic. Love that. It's so much more than just why lie. I need a beer. That's very clever. But then people start doing a lot, and I'm like, you're not that clever.
It's too much. It's too much.
Sorry, dude. So with breath work, man, I play music. We play music for people while it's going on. So I do this thing, and I don't know a lot of breathwork facilitators who do this, but maybe some do. But I will really help people try to anchor the breath with a rhythm. So if we get like because you're doing 2 inhales, so it's like,
yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm counting 4. I'm like,
oh wow.
It could be slower. It could be. Right, so it depends on the tempo of the song. If you need an anchor, plus at the beginning of it, this is the masculine or the resistance stage where it's like, oh, the mind's like, this is too much. Oh, I feel lightheaded. My hands are tingling. Like there's body stuff that happens, man.
Yeah.
A thing called tetany, where we get the claw. Your hands will actually do this weird stuff.
Really?
Where it claws up. Yeah, and it's like, oh, and you know, and then they're like your throat, or like you feel some tingling in the weird places, or lightheaded, right? And so this is all natural. naturally your body's being over-oxygenated.
What is that called, the claw? Because I had a buddy of mine who he would get super drunk and he would pass out, or he would be by the toilet and he would go into the claw state. I never knew that was a thing. I just remembered that. I haven't remembered that in years, but yeah. What's it called? You said there was a name for it?
Yeah, I don't know if he has the same. He's probably not over-oxygenated.
I don't know what the hell that was, but that's literally what he would do. He'd go into like a claw, and we'd be like, "What the fuck is he doing right now? What is that?"
He might be having a fucking seizure.
I don't. I think so. Anyways, back to the breath work.
That's called grand mal seizure.
That's called you are fucked up.
Alcohol-induced seizure. Yeah, it's called tetany. What it is when the body's over-oxygenated. There's literally cells are it's completely over-oxygenated, and so things tighten up. Yeah. Mainly, a lot of times in the hands or the lips, dude. People are like, "Oh wow, your lips will go." This happened to me early, and what happens is trippy because it doesn't happen to me anymore. It used to. I used to get all. Look, my lips were like this. I couldn't and my hands are clawed. And so this is where I say science and spirit kind of blur, because you can name tetany, but then also like, okay, so there's tetany, but what else, man? Am I hanging on to something I need to let go of in the hands, right? Yeah. Is there something I need to say? Like, is there a word or a name or a thing? Do I need to go, because my throat keeps, getting clogged up, or my heart feels cold. So do I need more warmth in my heart, And so that's kind of the things where we kind of uncover and discover and get to improve these things, or discard, whatever you want to uncover, discover, discard thing. But yeah, man. And so we can get in touch with this stuff and have an active meditation. And again, what it does for we of the West is it gives us something to do while we're meditating.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. It's good.
We're thinking about stuff already while I'm sitting here. Just think about the breath. Don't move. Look, what's the sensation of the air coming in out of my nose? I do it. Like the Sam Harris meditations. I do it. Like I'll sit and I'll look at something, or I'll close my eyes and we'll do space gazing. Look at it, close your eyes, open your eyes, look at it, feel the space, and then close your eyes and feel the space still, right? All these things, I do it all. I tried it, well, not all of it, but I do a lot of stuff. But this is special because it's an active meditation.
Yeah.
I was at a plateau recently with my breath work, so I'm like, okay, am I going to stop? No, I'm at a plateau. So, no, dude, I've been digging in longer.
Nice.
36, 40 minutes, like, that's long. And
where's a good place to start for from a length period? Because I hear 30 or 40 minutes, and I'm like, holy shit, that sounds really tough for somebody new. Is it like a couple minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or?
Yeah, sure. There's In fact, the guy who was my teacher, David Elliott. He's got playlists on Spotify. David Elliott. I think there's a singer or something like that too. So it's look for the hippie dippy looking stuff. And that's him. Okay. He's a little bit lighter. I'll be playing some Deftones and shit during my during my breath work. Yeah. Not only that, but I'll dig a little deeper.
I think I saw Seven Dust and Deftones, by the way, at Memorial Auditorium in Sacramento a long time ago. Great show, by the way. Good job.
Good.
So
that's
fun.
Great. I'd like to see that show.
Yeah.
Today. But yeah, so he has some playlists, and he has like intro, 5 minute, 10 minute, 13, 21, 28. Okay.
Yeah.
And but my meditation's on Saturday, which you can go to rocktorecovery.org/meditations.
Okay.
And you can sign up through there, or you can go to Instagram, Rock to Recovery, and link in our bio. There's a link tree thing. You can go to breathwork. We also provide a weekly mindfulness group.
Oh, nice.
That is facilitated by Jeremy Gray, another one of our rad guys in Portland. Yeah, so you can come on in, man. It's free, or if you can, give some money. Yeah. If you can. We got a PayPal. It's at Rock to Recovery. You can go to the website, rocktorecovery.org/donate. Right? There's ways of doing it, but we want to share the love with people, right?
Yeah. You said that was rocktorecovery.org/breathwork?
No, /meditations.
Oh, meditations. My bad. Okay, cool. I'm just making sure I put this in the show notes. So everyone out there listening, if you want to check it out, it's easy for you to find in the show notes down here too. So,
man.
Yeah.
And we're at Rock to Recovery. And then I am at Sonny_Mayo on Instagram. Sweet. I am on Facebook too, but I'm more of an Instagrammer. I kind of like, I know that's the same fucking company, but I'm just like, I want to choose that one.
It's
and then
weird.
I push stuff through to Facebook.
I'm the same. I deleted my Facebook in 2018 over like privacy stuff, and like I was just not into that. I'm still not, but I'm still on Instagram, which is kind of ironic and counterintuitive, but whatever, it is what it is. I'm trying to delete them one by one, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. Good stuff, man. It's so good to have you on today, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
thanks, bro.
What a great conversation, dude. Can't wait for others to hear it. Lots of good stuff there. For those listening out there, check out the links, everything. Holler at Sonny if you want. Hit him up, give him a follow. Check out the breath work on Saturday is amazing. Thanks so much, man, for coming on today, dude. I really appreciate it.
Dude, I was so stoked that you asked me. I was like, yes. Because when I saw you on that meeting, I was like, I want to do that guy's podcast. And then,
Awesome, dude.
Then I was like, hey, you want to speak at my meeting? Or you want to be on my podcast? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it was like perfect, dude.
You're like, yes,
Perfect.
and yes.
Yes. Two good
What?
things.
There it
man.
is. Yes.
Yep. I love it.
Yes
Your
is
favorite
rad.
word. Your favorite word, right? It's just yes and rad. So we'll wrap it up with that. Thanks, man. Sonny Mayo. Appreciate you, brother.
Dude, thanks so much, bro.